For our challenge, I wanted to build the biggest empire in Kenshi, starting from absolutely nothing. Naked, lost and broken, Morladin had a dream of an empire of peace, where every race could live together in harmony. He wanted to build the biggest city in Kenshi, complete with homes for its citizens, factories, shops and bars. He wanted to establish trade presence across the whole world with exports to every major city. And finally, he wanted to build the largest standing army that could threaten any faction and defend his empire. But first, he had to escape the deadly swamps. And I have a plan exactly how to do that. But first, my boy Morladin's gotta find some food, maybe gather a crew because he's still very weak. As you can see, his combat stats and all of his stats are at 1 or 0. So he definitely needs some help. He also needs some money because he's got none, and he could probably do with a shirt and pair of shoes. In any case, welcome to Kenshi. I'm Coco. Let's build this empire. Morladin started his journey down here in Mudtown in the middle of this very hostile swamp. This is where we're making for a way to get some money. This rice wheat farm is fully grown. There's some rice wheat here. We can loot that. Nobody's gonna stop us, and we can then sell this. Yeah, it's worth absolutely nothing. That absolutely nothing turned into 70 cats. Yeah, okay, that's really nothing, but still, there's some money. You know what? Maybe this is the time where Morladin learns how to be a farmer. Or maybe not, because I see there's big things attacking this place. That would be a much more valuable monster that we could loot. Get out of here, buddy. We're not gonna go into a fight with it, but we are definitely gonna loot it. Let's bring this in. Carrying that monster in his bag is gonna give him some strength training as well. And selling the animal skins is definitely gonna give him some money. Up to 1600 now, that's much better. I knew I'd need much more than 1600 cats to build Morladin's dream empire, but it was a start. I had plans for a giant city, complete with different districts, each with unique infrastructure, and focus on different production, or leisure, or defense, or residential, basically everything one could ever desire. But this was Kenshi, and there was a lot of suffering to get through. So first, Morladin needed to gather a crew. Maybe with the money we've got now, we could possibly find a recruit in here. Somebody who would be willing to join us, like Dr. Chung. Well, apparently he is an actual doctor, and maybe I can persuade him to join me. Well, it was actually much easier than I thought it's gonna be. Welcome, Dr. Chung. He is actually a really good medic. Well, that's gonna be useful. We're gonna rename Dr. Chung later on. I have a huge list of over 60 characters that you guys, my subscribers, submitted that I need to get in, and we'll need all of those people. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So we're visiting another village. Maybe there's some more stuff we can loot over here. There's some moss crabs right there. We could attack these and attract them towards the gate guards. Come on in, crabs. Oh yeah, there we go. Guards are already going in. That's not our fault. We're just gonna wait for these guys to deal with them, and then we can loot them for their food. Don't worry, guys. We are totally not cooking your brethren. But let's be real. We should totally start another fight. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Morladin getting shot in the leg wasn't the perfect though. Don't worry. That's why we have a doctor on our team. Unfortunately, doctor ran out of medkits, so we're gonna have to buy that. There you go. We got a new medkit. Let's fix you. And now we can once again loot all the crabs. Now, after selling more than 50 crab meat to the locals, we're now almost up to 5,000 cats, which is great, but now we're gonna limp back to Mudtown. And I mean limp because Morladin's leg still hasn't healed. Now, the reason why I wanted to return to Mudtown is very simple. These guys have a bar where Morladin can just rest, recuperate and heal his limb. And he's gonna need his limb healed before we go further down to the south to the Shark, which is kind of the capital area, capital place of the whole swamps. It can be pretty dangerous and pretty wild, but that's exactly why we want to be there. But there's also another potential recruit here. Silvershade. We actually have enough money to recruit him, so let's do that. And we're gonna name him Sato, the first of our many characters to come in. Welcome. He's actually got some skills already. Very nice. And now that Morladin is mostly healed and we got our crew, let's go further south. Yeah, it would be safer if we went north and tried to escape the swamps. There's a much bigger chance to get eaten in the swamps than to get eaten in the border zone to the north. We're gonna go there soon, but not quite yet. In any case, Shark wasn't that far. And these guys actually do have some pants and shirts and such. We're gonna buy some crappy pants for Morladin. And Sato's gonna get a crappy junk bow and some toothpicks to shoot them. But now we're again quite out of money. Well, luckily there's always some fights happening around Shark. Looks like there's some trade ninjas over there, and they're fighting Red Sabers, who's got a nice bounty. This could definitely be an opportunity for us to do some looting. Oh yeah, let's take all of that. I had grabbed everything we can carry now, and we're gonna carry that back to the city. We filled the inventory of those we are also carrying in our backs. So let's go cash in, shall we? We also caught a Red Saber with 4k bounty that we can cash in over here to these guys. That's a lot. After selling everything, we are up to 10,000 cats now, and my dudes are equipped. In fact, I even saved some extra armor that we can equip another recruit if you can find one. There's bound to be somebody in this bar that we could grab. How about a skeleton called Parik? Welcome to the squad, buddy. Oh, look at that, he actually got cats on him. That's really nice. We basically got half of our money back from that. Also, while I was trying to shop over here, I managed to recruit Hamut. I actually got some really decent stats and some decent gear as well. Well, now we have quite the squad to start Morladin's empire. Maybe it's time we try to get out of the swamp, and we're gonna start going towards this swamp village and then go out here. Just hopping from one village to another shouldn't be too dangerous, although you never know out here. There's somebody just... oh! There's a black dragon ninja that's attacked this place. Oh, that's an opportunity as well. I will steal your sandals. I don't know what happened in this village, but looks like there was quite a fight. Oh yeah, there's a lot of ninjas imprisoned in here, and I will take their blades. Now let's continue our journey west. It's now morning, the sun is rising, and we made it out of the swamp. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're safe, but maybe we are slightly safer than before. And right now we're gonna go further north to this way station and then into the border zone. Now the reason why I'm going to this way station first is very simple. Dr. Chung and Hamud still need to be renamed, and there's usually some plastic surgeons over here at the way station where we could do that. So welcome to the squad, Zuter the Wise and Macabix Kriegan. I'm gonna try to make sure you guys survive. Now let's go back into the desert. I know there's some ruins roughly somewhere around here, so we're gonna stop there quickly. And those ruins can often have some useful items. And as long as we're careful not to run into any dangerous enemies, we should be fine. Although it does seem that there's a couple of Band of Bone squatters around here. Those guys could potentially attack us. So let's just quickly see what we can steal. Like some bread? That would be nice. I'm not gonna be taking any of these giant weapons because they're just too crappy quality to sell for anything. And right now, I don't think it's worth going in here deeper and fight these Band of Boners. They're too tough for us. Let's turn back then, and let's go to civilization. Let's see if these guys have some Shek recruits for us or something. And indeed, they had some recruits for us. Morladin just recruited Thud and Kairos. Welcome to the squad, boys. These guys got no stats, and they are basically naked. So we're definitely gonna have to fix that. Alas, right now, we are kind of low on money. But I did manage to get just a little bit armor for them. Alright, now we really do not have any more money. Let's get out of here. We're just gonna slowly make our way to the hub. And if along the way we find some stubborn bandits or something like that, maybe we can even get into a fight. There's a very good chance we're gonna lose, but that's how you learn how to fight, right? Unfortunately, there was no bandits between us and the hub. There are some slave traders just moving through here, and hopefully they're just gonna leave us alone. Yeah, it seems so. We're definitely not ready to fight those yet. But there are some Dark Reavers patrolling over here. Yeah, these guys are much stronger than us, but maybe we could pull them back to the gates. Oh, they're definitely following us. Sato's gonna try to shoot them. Oh, he got one shot off. The rest of them are still coming after us. There you go. I think we're getting some help in. Let's get into a fight, boys. Parik is gonna tank some hits. I think Sato just shot Morladin in the back. That's perfect. Otherwise, yeah, we got numbers on our side. We should be fine here. That's another one down here. And this should be the last of them. And Thought got the final blow. This is gonna give us some better gear that we can grab and also sell. Oh yeah, this is high grade. No real bad injuries, and we got some new stuff to sell. While selling all of that gave us like 3k, which might be good enough for another recruit. And so we recruited Spurious Machine. Welcome to the squad, buddy. Now that there's 8 of us, that is a proper squad. Would we be able to defend ourselves out there in the wild? Definitely not with the stats we've got right now. But this could be a start of something great. This could be the time to start our first little town. And I bet there'd be plenty of bandits coming right towards us that would want to take it away from us. I had no delusions that I could protect my people from bandit attacks at this point, but I was itching to build something, to start working on my grand city. But where, do you ask? Well, the answer is simple. In Shem, right in the middle of Kenshi, like the proper continental capital it was going to be. But first, the squad needed some supplies to start building, and I knew just where to get those. And we're gonna get our stuff over here at this way station. We do have a slight problem of being chased by dust bandits, so we're gonna have to take care of those guys. And while we were traveling over here, we already fought some other dudes, namely some Black Desert Ninjas and Triangle Bandits, which should give us some more money very soon. We got some new equipment, and everything that I sold now amounts up to 10k monies. That's gonna give us all the money we need to buy some resources over here at this mechanical shop. I'm gonna load up on all the building materials I can carry. I'm gonna grab some iron plates as well, and then we're gonna grab a couple of research books with the last of the money we've got. Anyway, with all resources in tow, let's now go to Shem, where our destiny awaits us. Now there's more than one reason why we're going to Shem. Yes, it's perfectly central in the middle of the world, or almost central. But there's also some really nice building spots over here along the border with the swamp, because you can get very deserty and very wet planting areas, so that means you can plant a variety of crops you otherwise couldn't. Quite a few different bandit factions and beasts also roam this area, so it tends to be quite interesting down here. For now though, we're gonna try to avoid the various bandit patrols, and we're gonna try to find a nice spot to build. I think this hill could be nice. There's plenty of water around, the fertility is great. I got some copper over here on the side of the swamps. There's also plenty of iron around. For stone though, we'd have to go further here. Let's start with a stone mine over here, so we're gonna get some building materials out of it. That's gonna be a decent start for us. And for now, we're just gonna name our outpost Home. Eventually Home is gonna grow much bigger. Also gonna add a stone processor nearby. And while that is being built, I'm gonna send Spurious Machine and Sato to start mining here. Yep, everybody's gonna have to do some work. I'm also gonna add a couple of mud gathering spots here. I'm gonna send Thud and Kairos to start working there. And I want that mud just so we could build a small hut over here. That should serve as our early shelter. It might take a while before we get enough materials though. Oh, would you look at that? We have our first visitor. There's Aris of the Tech Hunters. He is just patrolling our town. One day this is gonna be much grander, believe me. Alas, that day is not today. Today is the day we build our first initial mud hut. It's not much, but it's home. I was hoping we could actually build a research bench in here. Alas, we can't. Not to worry, we did bring enough building materials for an additional small shack. So that's gonna be where we're gonna build our first research bench. Well, let's see, we're being assaulted by starving bandits. Let's just go in there, boys. This is probably gonna hurt. But who knows, maybe we stand a chance, at least we have better equipment. Oh, but Morladin is now down. I see there's multiple fights out there, not just our tiny little affair. And our tiny little affair is starting to turn very bad now with Black Dragon Ninjas here as well. Oh, but hey, the Tech Hunter is at least healing us, so we got that going for us, which is nice. Oh, and now he's getting into the fight. Oh, he's gonna chop them up. Let's go. Nope, he just chopped up the 2 dudes, and he's ignoring the rest. We're definitely losing this fight. Sato and Parik are the only 2 left standing, and I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be good enough, especially since Sato is probably gonna run out of bolts before he can even deal with these guys. And my hope is that once they're done with Parik, they might attack the Tech Hunter. Oh yeah, they're going for him. I just hope he can deal with them. Oh, but Spurious Machine is back up, and he's helping the fight, and so is Zuter the Wise. See, that guy healing us actually helped us quite a lot. Great, but starving bandits are now getting back up. Oh, but they are also helping us. Let's go. Basically, there's like 1 Dragon Ninja left, and I stole some of their gear. Oh, the Genin went down, finally. But this guy's back up now, fighting Parik. Oh, and now Sato is out of bolts. Okay, it's time to run. You will never catch me if I'm swimming. Confused now, huh? Are you?
Alright, Sato, let's go heal up anybody that we can before we get attacked again. Oh, my boy Morladini's also getting up. We're gonna rescue those that are in recovery coma. Then I guess we're gonna go back into fight. These bloody ninjas never know when to stop, huh? We're gonna have to fix Parik, who is now dying. And finally, Parik is back up. Wow, this took a while. We still have a couple of people sleeping, but everybody's up now. The only problem is we're gonna soon be getting through our only skeleton repair kit. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna loot these bodies, or if anything that is worth anything. And while we are badly hurt, we can at least move a decent pace. So I guess we're going back here. Well, we had enough to buy one proper skeleton repair kit, and Spurious Machine is slowly repairing himself. I could technically buy another, but I'm completely out of food, so I have to kind of save money on that and buy some food. Now that we have some food, everybody can slowly heal and repair this way station. And in the meantime, I'm gonna be sending Sato on a slight solo mission. He can run at 22 miles per hour, so he's gonna be fine. And he's gonna be going all the way down here to Flats Lagoon. Now, the main reason why I'm sending him solo down there is because, well, he's got no ammo for his jungbow. And they do not sell anything here at the way station, and they probably don't sell anything down here in the Shacklands because, well, Shack don't really use ranged weapons. Besides, we do want to establish our trade relations with Flats Lagoon as soon as possible. These guys are gonna be great trading partners eventually. Yeah, Sato's gonna be just fine. And while he's running all the way down to Flats Lagoon, these guys are now healed and they're gonna go back to their home. I'm sure this is also gonna be safe. Sato has made it, and now we can... Really? 4 toothpicks is all you've got? Yeah, that was really unfortunate and not what I wanted, but let's be real. We're gonna have to take it. We ran into some dust bandits. I guess we're gonna have to deal with them, or they're gonna deal with us. We'll see what's gonna happen. I do wish we had our crossbowmen with us right now. That could have been better. But I guess we'll do what we can, right? At least we should have better gear than these guys. Maybe even some better weapons. We might not be stronger in general, but... we got this. Indeed, we got this. Well played. And hey, some of these dust bandits got toothpicks. We're gladly gonna take that for Sato. And finally, we can all meet back at home. We got some tech hunters and black shifters patrolling here, and there's a triangle bandit downed. More than one. This poor guy is missing his leg and an arm. I think it's about time we invest some money into prisoner poles. And from that batch of raiders, we recruited Grim and Wool. Welcome to the squad, my new hivers. They're both quite injured, so they're gonna go to bed. I also had to move this house because for some reason it was stuck. Nobody could get in. Even Control Shift F11 didn't help with that, so I had to just raise it up a bit. And now we can set up the research bench here again, which means we can start doing research here now. And since Kairos wanted to be our main researcher, well, he can do that. We're gonna start with basic stuff like small house that then unlocks tech level 2, and maybe some walls. Well, Kairos got a lot of work to do now. And now, since food is definitely a problem for, well, a squad this size, we barely got anything left that we bought from before. Grim's gonna build this drying mat here. It takes 1 fabric and it should be very easy to build. And now he's gonna take all the mud, he's gonna throw it in here, and he's gonna start making mud snacks for us. Yeah, that sounds very delicious. 1 nutrition. I guess 1 nutrition is better than nothing. Hopefully, now that we totally took care of food and everything, we can take care of this bustling city and continue building it into something grand and amazing.
Eating mud to survive wasn't quite what I imagined when I set out to build Morladin City. But you gotta start somewhere. We had to stock up on basic materials, we had to research a lot, and we had to be efficient with our food. But most importantly, we needed to find a way to stay safe. I knew it would take a long time before the city would have any semblance of safety, before we could truly call it home. But I promised one day the city will be a jewel in the desert. Alas, there was a lot of work to be done first.
It looks like we have some Black Dragon ninjas coming in here again, trying to fight us. I guess most of them are fighting some tech hunters down here. I don't know if this tech hunter can win, but hopefully he can injure a lot of them before they go for us, because these bastards are definitely tougher than us. Here we go. Looks like we are definitely getting into this fight. As long as they come one-on-one, that's, you know what, that's good for us. We can deal with them. Oh, more of them are coming. The drifters here. Oh, shit, these guys are buying here. Oh, never mind, we got some shinobi. I did build this shop counter in here, and people are buying. Awesome. I know this is kind of a distraction from all the fighting, but hey, this works for us great. But maybe we do stand a chance of winning this. Oh, there's another dude down. And this Jonin is definitely much stronger than us, like 50 defense. He just lost a leg, never mind. That's the way to do it, boys. Let's go. Oh, he lost another leg. I don't think that guy's going anywhere soon. Well, I have to admit this battle went quite well. There's a couple more people that bought our stuff here. Oh, are you gonna buy something, sir? Oh, they did. Thank you, Benson. You might want to heal yourself. They're buying mostly some of these ninja blades that we looted off of these guys. And yeah, I imprisoned them so they can safely die here in peace without causing more issues. We also got some better weapons, like Maccabi Skrigan's got a Katan 3 Tachi now, and same for Kairos. And yeah, it does look like we're gonna have a couple of bandits coming over here. Where from? I'm not sure. There's a lot of red dots around. Well, luckily, our hometown is very busy with various people. Like, there's a shinobi thief there as well. And by selling stuff from all these ninjas that come out here and fight us, we actually made a nice amount of money. So let's hope that no matter who comes here, all of our allies that are just patrolling the town can protect us. And just so we can protect ourselves better, I recruited Aura from the ninjas. She is still limping around, but hey, welcome to the squad. Go to bed now. But she's gonna be a nice addition in the long run for sure. Oh, looks like the bandit demands are here. It's just a bunch of dust bandits. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna ignore them. We're definitely not paying them anything. And now, I guess we're gonna fight them. Hopefully some of these guys that are patrolling are gonna come help us. Oh, I see the shinobi thieves here are fighting. Oh, that dog's gonna destroy all of them. Let's go. That definitely works well for us. And we're also gonna get some nice combat training in the process. There we go. That should be job done. Bandits have been defeated. With the money we made from fighting these bandits, we really should invest into like a trade animal so we could cart all this garbage that we got stored over here to a nearby way station or something like that where we could sell it. You know what? I'm actually gonna send Sato to the nearby settled nomads. Those guys should have an animal shop there. It does look like the place is slightly under attack though, but I'm sure they can take care of some of these Black Dragon ninjas. Oh yeah, these guys over here have a pack bull. I will buy it. And we're gonna name it Steve. There we go, we got Steve now. I loaded up Steve with everything he can carry. I'm gonna have him and Morladin go sell this. Also, apparently we have bandits raiding us. Oh great, Black Dragon ninjas. Like we didn't have enough of those bastards already. No matter, we're gonna deal with them when they arrive. These two guys going to trade first. These guys will gladly buy everything we brought. And now I'll buy all the food we can afford. Which, let's be real, wasn't that much. But hey, it's better than nothing. Let's bring this back home. Well, it seems like the Black Dragon ninjas did come in force. That is way too much and they're way too strong for us to fight them. So, you know what? We're running into the swamps. Morladin and Steve came back home just in time. Actually, we do have a lot of nomads fighting. You know what? Now we can come back. And we can maybe help defend our own home. Yeah, imagine doing that, huh? Sato is the first on the scene of the crime. I think Steve is gonna be the second. Let's go, Steve. Steve's probably gonna get hurt, but he's gonna do some damage if he can actually get his horns. Oh yeah, look at that. We are locking those horns. Let's destroy these ninjas. I knew it would be a tough fight, and I knew we would need some help, but in the end, we're gonna be victorious, and nobody needs to know the fact that we ran. That can stay a secret. There you go, bandits have been defeated, and now I can loot the bastards again. I loaded up Steve with spoils of war once again. As you can see, we got a lot of spoils, and Morlin and Steve are gonna go sell all of that. Well, I guess the rest of us deal with another set of Black Dragon ninjas who came to attack us. It's quite amazing how many of these guys are around here, huh? Definitely good combat training for all of us. Although most of our people being already injured is kinda ruining our potential, but we do have some of the drifters helping out, so hopefully that's gonna be good enough. And indeed, it was good enough. Now, nomads really helped us a lot in these fights, but I don't really see them anymore. There's still some of their pack beasts around. And this one is gonna be in recovery coma for a while longer. Now, let's just say if we, picked it up and maybe hid in here with it. This thing's got a lot of food, and it would be a shame not to borrow some of that. Yeah, we're borrowing all of it. Look, I don't want to be a thief, but we really need some food. And then we're gonna release it back into the wild. But yeah, that's gonna be a nice amount of food for us for a while. And of course, we have Morladin and Steve trading away as well. This brings us all the way up to 27,000 now. And with that kind of money, I'm gonna buy a couple of extra skeleton repair kits that we definitely need. In the meantime, back at home, since we can now afford more food, I recruited 2 more people. We got Yamze the Hive Prince and we got Ryu the Wicked, who is a Greenlander. Welcome to the squad, boys. You can probably go get yourself healed over here first. And as the faction is growing larger, how about we build another hut here? I know it's small, but it can be used for storage or, you know, sleeping quarters or something. And Morladin and Steve have made it back home. Although I can probably fill Steve up again already. There you go, the little hut has been built. We'll just throw some storage crates in here, I think. And maybe 1 camp bed. That's more like it. We can store some stuff in here whenever we need to. And now I think it's time we start mining some copper down here. And Yams is gonna be the one that's gonna start mining. Mostly we need copper so we can start producing some power. And while we wait for that, we do have some building materials stockpiled. So while I'm sending Morladin and Steve to trade again, I'm gonna set up our first big old storm house that we can build here. Now the main reason we're building this is so we can set up a research level 2 bench. That one would not fit in here, but we definitely need that bench if you want to start farming, if you want to start crafting. Basically, if you want to do anything, we're gonna need it. But also, this is all temporary. This setup, this is probably all gonna get destroyed and demolished once we can finally plan out how the city's gonna look. But now we trade once again, and with the profits, we're gonna buy some extra building materials. I'm gonna buy some wheat straw, some cactus, and all the research books we can carry. And since I did say we needed power, we're gonna build a wind generator here as well. And now we have a beautiful storm house, and we have a beautiful wind generator that's got no wind here. I can hear the wind. How is there no wind here? You're lying to me then. Well, somebody is. For now, we're just gonna dismantle this. I'm gonna try to figure out where we actually have any wind. We also have our first Traders Guild visit coming here, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, that is much better. Now we actually have power. But while we might have power, we right now do not have enough iron plates to actually build the next research bench. We're gonna need 10 of those. So while we wait for the traders to hopefully bring some iron plates, I'm actually gonna build some of these juice pipes and we're gonna see what we can farm over here. We got plenty of raw mud stored, so let's do that. One day this city is gonna be great. For now, we're just mud people. I'm also gonna start building some makeshift walls around here, and we're gonna have to protect ourselves because there's big things coming around here. We're gonna have Parik and Yamzi go for it, and Sato's gonna shoot it. The rest of the people are gonna just stay away. Big things are amazing to cause AoE damage, so we don't want more than like 2 people fighting it at the same time. And it's down. Now that's something we can start cooking. I also had to move this shack once again, yet it's still broken. Control Shift F11 doesn't really do anything with it. I can't go inside, which is, you know, slightly annoying because all of our food is in here. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to move all of that in here and just destroy that shack, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And now we're just gonna go dismantle this whole thing. Oh, we get a couple of building materials back. I'm just gonna rebuild it in here. Now that's starting to look much better.
While establishing the capital city was my first priority, trade was my second major goal. I was planning to build shops in every big town around, export the goods we produce to those shops, and have our own shopkeepers sell them to the customers. I was building an empire, and while that might mean war, the end goal was always trade and profit. Just imagine the vast factories producing everything a denizen of Kenshi could ever desire. Oh, the money we'd be making. Alas, for now, our main export were torn pans looted of the dying bandits.
While we were waiting for the trade caravan, I fixed the interior of this building a bit more. Now we have a couple of tables over here with chairs and some food and drinks over here so people can just relax while they're not working. It's kind of very basic for now, but it's gonna give you an idea what I'm aiming for when we fully build the city. Every shop, every house, every workplace should be detailed like this, so it actually looks like a proper living city. It's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. There we go, the first traders are here. Let's send Morladin out to trade with them. Unfortunately, they don't really have much to sell, but we can buy some extra food. Now we have the hivers visiting. Let's see if these guys got more. Oh, they definitely got more. I want their iron plates. And I got their iron plates and all of their books as well. And that's all of our money gone now. I'd say that was worth it, because that now allowed us to build our new research bench, which means we can start unlocking new stuff to research. That's gonna give Kairos a lot of work to do. I'm also gonna have to start with iron production, so Morladin is gonna build a storage for ore where Ryu is already mining some iron. And to be honest, now we're gonna need more recruits to work here. And since it looks like the traders took care of some of the triangle bandits out here, maybe we could recruit them. And so I recruited Pickle, who somehow managed to put a hand through his head. Welcome to the squad, Pickle. We're gonna make sure you do not die. I see Yamzi's under attack. We got more triangle bandits coming in. Oh, apparently we actually had a triangle assault. I didn't even notice that. Oh, and there's a Black Dragon Ninja here as well. Of course there is. Well, go get him, boys. Let's go. The drifters are helping us. You love to see it. Pickle, you can get into this fight as well, buddy. And Pickle's down. Well, his old injuries didn't help here, did they? I am sure we can still deal with these guys though. They're not that strong. And then that would mean we could go trade again, which is all we ever wanted to do. Oh, looks like we got some more ninjas coming in here attacking Yamze. It looks like it was just one, and that's perfect time to introduce our new recruit. Barry has joined us, and he's got a magnificent red beard. It looks like we have some dust bandits trying to annoy Thud now. I guess we are fighting you. Not to worry, support is coming, slowly but surely. And while they might have downed Maccabix Cregan, the rest of the boys are coming in now. I'm starting to think we really should invest in some walls, huh? But I guess these guys are kind of a free money delivery that we can sell. And since Steve's inventory is quite full of all of those various garbage, I'm gonna send him and Sato to trade. And in the meantime, I am indeed investing into some walls. Oh, we got our juice pipes ready and fully grown now. Zuter's gonna harvest them. Now we need to extract juice from it. Now how we're gonna do that, I do not yet know, but I'm sure we can figure it out. In the meantime, Sato and Steve are gonna cash in, and they're gonna bring back home some more books. So with this wall set up over here, it's now gonna take a bit longer for any bandits to get to Yamze. Of course, they can still just swim around like he's doing right now, but it's gonna give us more time to respond. And in this little building over here, we can eventually start producing some electronics since we have copper mining here. Steve, I would really appreciate if you weren't fighting big things though. Go home. Worry not, help is coming. Oh, it's already down. Well, I guess it was already injured. We're gonna take everything. We now also finally have a chance to build an iron refinery, which is actually gonna allow us to build our own iron plates. And yes, we definitely need more walls. The swamps are apparently full of bandits. I mean, who could have seen that one coming, right? And some of these bandits are bringing bolts with them. That I appreciate. We lost 3, we lost Steve as well. Some of the bandits are getting back up. Hopefully they're just gonna run away, and maybe the crabs are gonna eat them. But as for me, I'm gonna continue building these defensive walls in hopes that my men stop being harassed over here. Well, not quite yet. We still have some naked bandits to deal with. And out of those battles, we just recruited Cersei, who is a Scorchlander lady, and we got Grogmaster, who is a Skelly boy. Welcome to the squad, go get yourself healed now. Now that we got some fences around here, I was thinking maybe of building a hut down here. So whenever we fight these various dust bandits and other bandits here, my people could at least have a place to rest. And yeah, I also blocked this, so hopefully nobody's gonna be swimming through here anymore. And we do have great rich men coming in here to trade with us. They usually tend to have big backpacks that fit a lot of stuff. There we go, the storm house is done. We're building some more fences there. And once our research on beds completes, I'm gonna set them up in here. And they're the great rich men that I was talking about. Hopefully they're gonna go shopping now. Please buy everything you can carry. Oh, they're already doing it. Well, they certainly didn't buy everything. We're up to 25k again, which is nice. And with the beds researched now, I set up this little area over here where people can sleep, they can rest, they can sit out here, you know, just chill. Now it's time for some crafting. I was thinking maybe what we could do here is craft some arrows, because Sato always needs more arrows, and eventually we're gonna have more people who are gonna be crossbowmen. For now we can only make toothpicks, but that's basically what we're shooting anyway. So we're gonna have Barry make a couple of toothpicks for us. I loaded up Steve with everything the rich man didn't buy. We're gonna sell that over here. And we're gonna buy any of the extra books these guys got. And back at home, I decided it was time we build something bigger, something grander. So we're gonna be working on this longhouse now. Now that we have research level 3 bench here, we can start unlocking some more stuff. Now, as for this longhouse, I wanted to build basic leather industry in here. We're gonna have to start with leather tanning, which is gonna be in this corner. And then eventually we can increase this in size and productivity as we get more people and as we get more research. And since Cersei is a Scorchlander, I'm gonna assign her to leather tanning so she can get some XP through that. Scorchlanders having higher racial XP bonus for armor smithing, which this is. So she can start learning here, slowly but surely. And in the meantime, I'm also gonna continue building walls so we can kind of fence off this swamp side a bit. Eventually, of course, we can destroy this and increase the city in size over yonder as well. But for now, this should give us some much needed safety. We also researched corpse furnace, and since we constantly have raiders coming in, let's build that thing somewhere around here as well. Oh, and speaking of raiders, we seem to have some Black Dragon ninjas in here again. It's been a while since we've seen those. But you know what? We also have some new combatants since we've seen them. And we are much stronger now. Now, while we don't really have anything to trade right now, I'm still gonna be sending Steve and Morladin out there again. And I'm sending them down to the swamps this time around. And my goal is to bring back rice wheat and hemp so we can research planting that and then start some hemp and rice wheat farms. Those things would grow well down here in the swampy area, and they will be able to feed us and clothe us. They made it safely to the traders in the swamps, and they have plenty of hemp and rice wheat for us, very cheap as well. We'll take the full backpack back home. That was definitely worth the trip. I'm gonna pop in the hemp and rice wheat in here, and once we get some books, we'll be able to unlock that. Now, I also want to go to the higher research bench above level 3, but for that, we're gonna need ancient science books. And for that, we're gonna have to explore the most dangerous areas out there. For our immediate research though, I sent Sato over to the way station and he brought back all the books he could carry. We also completed electricals research, which means we can now start working on that. And once we can start making electricals from copper, then we can get better stuff like batteries, which we are currently researching as well. I'm gonna get Zuter the Wise start working on this. And as he's working on these electrical components, he's actually getting some science XP, which is great for him. You know, it's good to have some smart people in the town as well. Now in the meantime, I was also trying to do something new. As you can see over here, we got a waterfront now of some sort. This is still very much work in progress. I was just trying to see if Morladin can actually walk down here and get to that house, and he can, which makes me happy. I've not quite decided how I want to make this look, but you know, it kind of fits perfectly for more of these swamp houses down here. For now, we can build some battery banks and store some power. So if at any point the wind goes out, at least we're gonna have a bit of power saved. With that being done, it's time to do some farming, and as you can see, the yield for rice wheat here is great. And just like that, rice wheat and hemp farms are gonna happen. And of course, rice wheat and hemp will need processing, and that we can do in this giant swamp dome. I think that is gonna be a great fit for all of that. Now before we build any of that though, it's about time we start upgrading our basic stone mines and stone processors. We got the iron plate stored that we need, and we can use the manpower somewhere else. Oh, and while upgrading, looks like we got visitors, and visitors brought big things with them. Guys, let the visitors deal with the big things. There you go, that's actually lovely. And we're gonna deal with the ones that come inside. Although I don't think that big thing is gonna survive for too long. So fine, we will deal with the rest of these guys. I mean, it's been a while since we had some bandits, so this is perfect training. Although I did see that some people went down. That triangle beaker can do a lot of damage with that AoE weapon. Yeah, he just hit like 5 people. I wish we didn't all try to just go in there. Morladin actually almost lost his leg in the process, and Grim's gonna be a recovery coma, but otherwise we are good. And good thing these guys attacked me, because we clearly need more people to work the farms. So you know what? Let's get some new recruits, shall we? And so I recruited Sargento and Vaughn luckily wanted to be a farmer. So Vaughn, good for you. You can farm here. And there we go. First of the rice wheat is coming in from the farms. And while these guys kind of suck at farming for now, they're still producing some and not even failing that much. We got slave traders and a big group of them. Guys, I think it's time to run. What we can hope for is that these guys are not all gonna chase after us, but they're gonna go for the free pickings of triangle bandits over there. It does seem like they are fighting some gray flayers here. That's probably not gonna end well for anybody. There is one dude at least chasing after us, and that guy we can deal with. Or I guess there's a couple more here, not to worry. These guys will go down decently fast as well, and we can borrow some stuff from them. Oh, looks like the slave raid has ended. I still see people are fighting there, but at least some of them are leaving, and yes, they are taking the triangle bandits with them. You know what? I'm fine with that. Oh wow, they even enslaved a tech hunter. I still have a couple here that are trying to leave, and we're not gonna let them leave. In fact, this one has an upgrade weapon for Shadow. And now we got Steve full of stuff to sell again, so Morladin and him is gonna go out there again. Selling these is not gonna really make us a lot of money, but it's better than nothing. And as is tradition, we're gonna grab the books from here. Back at home, I also recruited Snack, who has joined us, and hopefully Snack's gonna be a good warrior. Better to be part of our squad than a slaver, right Snack? From the little bit of farming we've done, we actually got enough to upgrade this hemp farm to a large. And while we do not have quite enough to build another large rice wheat farm, we can do a medium one. And there goes Grim, he's picking up termites with his bowl. Decently nutritious it seems. But he can also cook them into a sticky stew combined with juice pipe. Let's see if Morladin can make that happen. 25 nutrition, that's not so bad. I wonder how much nutrition we would get if we all attacked these crabs. This is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna hurt. So these crabs can do some insane damage. I have a feeling people might be losing limbs. But also at the same time, these things do not have much HP, so as soon as we can get them down, they will stay down. The fight was worth it. Look at how much raw meat we got out of that, plus some extra hemp. Now the battle is done, we are upgrading our stone processor, so only one person will have to work it. And at the same time, we're also upgrading our second rice wheat farm to large. And I think for now, 2 farms are gonna be fine. Since we are storing rice wheat over here, let's make this area the rice wheat cooking area. I'm thinking we're gonna start making some rice noodles over here. We're just gonna need to build a well first so we can get some water. And the wells are built and they're firing. And Morladin is gonna be the one to cook. And it does seem that we ate most of our food already, so we're definitely gotta prepare some more meals. Because I think it's soon gonna be time we go and we march out into the world once again. Without ancient science, our little town could never become a bustling capital I wanted it to be. No high-level crafting, no hydroponics, no robotics, no big sturdy walls and defenses. Alas, science was a much guarded treasure, hidden in forgotten labs, ruins and skeleton outposts. I knew I'd be risking the lives of Morladin and all of his troops in my search for forgotten secrets, but it had to be done, and all I could hope for was that all of the bandit raids prepared us for the dangers we were about to face. This is gonna be quite an adventure, and I decided we're gonna go explore the swamps. I know there's some sunken labs and such we can find out here. And also, I wanted to say hello to Larva Larry, who just joined us, and he's gonna be part of our squad now. Welcome. And yeah, we have left our city empty behind, and it's fine. We got more important things to do right now than just work. Like go into this blood spider infested ruin. I bet this is gonna be fun. Blood spiders can do a lot of damage, but they also can take quite a beating. You hit them once, you hit them twice, and they are gone. So as long as we get the first hits, we're gonna be okay. And I see mostly, yeah, that was 84 hit there on Zooter the Wise. Hopefully we don't get to see any more of those. Now, let's loot this place. There wasn't much. We got an extra hunting sabers, some steel bars, and this fragment circle, plus a skeleton repair kit. We do have quite a few people injured in their legs, so they can't really walk that fast. So we're gonna go over to Shark and we're gonna rest there for a bit. It looks like Shark is under attack though. Oh, it seems like Swampers and Hounds are fighting each other. That's gonna be interesting. I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna get imprisoned, but that's not my problem. And while these guys heal and repair here, I'm just gonna be sending a smaller squad, basically half of the team, just a bit further into the swamps where I know there's like an old library there. Naturally, there's blood spiders here again. I didn't see them coming, but they definitely saw us. Hopefully no bad injuries, just Morladin got hit a bit. It's probably gonna be more at the ruins here, but that's a risk I am willing to take. I'm gonna send Yamzi to unlock this, because he's got good lockpicking. And the rest are gonna go loot all of this. There wasn't much here. We found some military documents and treasure maps we can use, some books, and one ancient science book, which is great. Plus some blueprints. While we are looting, this squad also fully healed up, and the two teams are now gonna be meeting. And we're gonna be meeting down here at the swamp village, and then we're gonna continue further south. We already discovered a ruin, and I already see somebody fighting at that said ruin. It looks like there's a bunch of Band of Bones boys trying to break into this lab, where there's like about 1 million blood spiders in. You know what? We're gonna let them. I guess the fun didn't last long, because we are already in the fray now. We're gonna destroy the spiders, and then we can probably even loot the Band of Bones guys. Not that they have much, probably, but we're still gonna loot them. Actually, never mind. That's high-grade leather armor. Now with the blood spiders mostly dealt with, we can go loot this place then. Well, I found some more ancient science books in here, which is great. We also found a bunch of CPU units, power core, skeleton muscle, stuff that we can sell, and a high-grade iron fortress chest guard, which is really sturdy. I'm gonna give that to Sargento. Oh yeah, looking good there. Now, while everybody who's been injured slowly heals over here, I'm just gonna have Ryu the Wicked carry Steve to the nearby village, and we can sell some of the extra stuff here, which got me all the way up to 121k. And now that we're rich and mostly healed up, let's continue our swamp adventures. We're gonna go just a bit further into the grid. Now, the grid should be pretty safe. There's sometimes some big things running around, but otherwise we should be good. And there's plenty to loot here. And we got some really nice stuff here. Morladin got himself a new plate jacket. Otherwise, we found some more engineer research, ancient science books, CPU units that we can sell, and the art of dyeing rugs and curtains. At the second workshop, we found some more engineering research, a new arm, some of these pious carpentry, and some more stuff to sell. But we're gonna risk it, and we're gonna go a bit deeper into the crater. It can be dangerous. Big things prowl these areas, and this one already prowled into us. Oh, and there's another one coming to prowl. Hopefully not more of them catch up to us, but at least we can loot these for their skins, which is definitely worth it. In any case, there seems to be a lot more of them, and now we're kinda bunched up together, which is not great. People might get hurt by the AoE. I'm sure we're gonna be fine. We can take out some big things and loot their nests. These eggs can sell quite well. I see Barry and Juan took one down, and now they're gonna join Spurious Machine, and there's another there. Having a numeric advantage against big things is usually not a very good thing. See, Thud has already almost lost his leg there. We got 6 of these. They sell for 4,000 each. I have a feeling there might be a couple more out there. A couple more extras. Never hurt nobody, right? But again, we are so bunched up over here, especially because we keep getting new beakers over here from every side. Oh, that one is just running away from Morladin. Not to worry, even if you lost some people went down, we're still gonna destroy these. Although I don't know where we're gonna store all the loot from them. We won the skins from them. They are very, very good. They're very, very useful. Funny enough, big things are definitely not the worst at what is awaiting us here. And the fact that we're already quite injured from just fighting big things, yeah, it's not really gonna bode well, is it? In fact, we need to break into this lab now. And since we have a lot of injured people, we're just gonna rest here for a bit, while Yamsi slowly breaks into this lab. There's 5 very scary security spiders in here. If we can get them one by one, that would work best. Yeah, I think we got 2 at the same time. Fair. Unfortunately, Sato Shitty bolts are not gonna do much damage to these ones. So, just like with the big things, we're gonna have to do this manually. You can see they are doing a lot of damage. 105 there to Grogmaster. These things do have potential to even kill us. Let's hope not. Oh, woo, just went down bad. This is why I didn't want to pull 2 of these out. Just wanted 1 at the same time. This one is almost down. Just needs 1 more hit. Oh, we got him. We got him. Let's go. Grogmaster fell all the way down there. I sent Ryu the Wicked to get Grogmaster. And look how far around he has to run. And besides, we got another big thing coming in here. And besides, Ryu is being chased by like a million big things. But if he can avoid getting hit even more, then he should be fine. Lucky for us, there's some tech hunters moving around here, so hopefully these guys can help us with big things. And we can all go repair Grogmaster. And these guys can deal with each other. While everybody's healing, we still have the tech hunters just patrolling around here. So I wanted to see if maybe I can pull one of the spiders and have the tech hunters deal with it. There you go, it hit the tech hunter. Oh, let's go. Now we're fighting. Oh, the tech hunters are getting crushed. That's probably not good. They dealt a lot of damage, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. I'm sending Sato in to shoot this thing, but screw it, we're getting reinforcements. Oh, that was good damage, and that was bad hit. 1 more hit to the head, and this spider's going down. Come on, one of you guys, you got this. They got this. Tech hunters, I am counting on you again. I'll take the big thing. Yeah, you guys can fight that. Oh, big thing dealt a lot of damage. 46. Get 1 more hit. Oh, let's go. We only need to shoot it like into the head once. Just 1 hit, boys. That's all we need. Just 1 hit. Let's go. 1 final spider remains. But unfortunately, the tech hunters are kind of gone. So we're gonna have to deal with this one ourselves again. It's gonna be a tough fight. People are gonna go down once again. But Sargento is tanking quite a lot with new armor. And the spider's down. Let's go. Holy shit, we did it. Now we can actually loot the place. We found a decent amount of stuff to sell here as well. A lot of skeleton repair kits, which is great. And some more ancient science books. So we have 27 in total now. And I think it's time we slowly but surely go home. They're not letting us go home without a couple of last fights. I decided not to go through the swamps just so we could hit some more way stations and sell all the stuff that we have looted. Yeah, this might not be the shortest route, but it should be the most lucrative. And indeed, after trading in Squin, we are up to 266,000 monies now. And I think it's really time we go towards home. And finally, get back to work. First things first, I'm gonna queue up the next tech level. And then I feel like we're gonna have to build a lot more storage for skins and leather. And I even set up another tanning station where Pickle is gonna learn leatherworking as well. This is the start of our proper crafting industry. I decided I'm gonna set up a blacksmithing station over here on this roof. This is where we already have the arrow making station in. And we're gonna have Larry training to be a blacksmith for now. And he already made his first stuff, and now also he has a bit of a shade over here and a place where he's gonna store the weapons. This is his current weapon. You're just gonna put it there for safekeeping for now. And I think since we are still seeing a lot of fights happening out here between Dust Bandits and what seems like Swamp Ninjas right now, I think it's really time that we build like a front door. This is not gonna be the final configuration of our walls, but it will serve for now, I think. I'm also trying to set up like a medicinal area over here, and we do need a fabric loom first. And Spirits Machine can get us some fabrics over here, which then we're gonna use, and we're gonna turn those fabrics into, well, we can make basic first aid kits for now only. Alas, we do not have the books to research medicine right now, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna be sending Yamze and Steve to buy me some more books. In the meantime, I recruited 2 new ninjas. Joe and Fall has joined us. 2 Scorchlanders, welcome to the squad. For now, I think it would be best if you guys go get some rest because you're still very injured. Alas, unfortunately, it seems they only have 10 books. So you know what? I'm gonna send Steve back home with those books. I'm gonna see if Yamze can get some more of them at Squin. There you go, with Steve's help, we can now queue up medicine. Now, Yamse actually bought quite a lot of stuff over at Squin, but on his way back, he's also gonna stop at the hub, where he's gonna be joining the Shinobi Thieves. There we go, we paid 10k for that, and Shinobi Thieves are now our allies. I mostly stopped here so I could get some Thieves backpacks, and they do have 3 of them. So we're gonna bring all of that back home and we're gonna upgrade his gear for a bit. Yes, he's looking badass now. Now back at home, we do have this set of walls now complete and locked in. And just to confuse everybody, we're now gonna be building a watchtower in the middle of this pathway. And while that's being done, I did upgrade our medical workbench, so we can now at least make standard first aid kits, and Zuter is working on that. We can use them ourselves, or of course we can sell them over here. Oh, it looks like we got some dust bandits coming to raid us. Well, that's good. We're gonna slay them all. This is just good trading for everybody now. We might not have built the walls yet. Once again, they went directly for my iron miners. I guess they don't like my industry. Not to worry. We're gonna show them. And some people go down, that's fine. We got Joe and Fall training over here for the first time, fighting with a squad. They can show them if they're good combatants or not. And somebody's gonna have to go save Morladin, who's going for a swim, it seems. And Lara Larry is fighting with a stick that he made, not his actual proper weapon. Well, it'd be like that sometimes, not to worry. Also, Yamsi just came back in time as everything ended. Good timing, buddy. Oh, no, you won't. You are not butchering Steve, you bastard. Apparently, some of the boys also decided to chase the dust bandits all the way out there into the desert. Seems like a great idea, boys. Oh shit, dust bandits are now hostile towards me. Yeah, who would have thought? And there's a new set of dust bandits coming in here now. Well, this is definitely why we're building the wall. And once they're built, we'll be able to shoot these guys from here, so we don't need to melee all of them. I mean, we'll still melee some of them. We're gonna have gate guards posted over here. I have a feeling those guys might have a lot of work in the coming months. These guys don't give up that easily, do they? They probably should have, or they might end up being recruited into this squad. But wait, there's more potential recruits coming in. These dust bandits don't know what's good for them. But now we got reinforcements. People are slowly trickling in. Yeah, remember when I said we're gonna invest in walls? Still working on that, slowly but surely. And out of that batch of bandits, we got Calibering Kane as our new recruit. Welcome to the squad, buddy. I see you already got a blow on this guy. You might look like a bandit for now, but trust me, we're gonna put you to good use. And together, Kane, we can build this watchtower and this wall. Would you believe it or not, but there's more dust bandits here. Who would have thought that there would be more, huh? Well, Kane is already fighting his previous brethren. Yeah, it's that easy to betray the bandits. That easy to see the future. And let's be real, Morladin's future is the future of Kenshi. Unfortunately, we do have quite a lot of people who have fallen because they've been very injured, constantly fighting out here. Don't worry, our walls will soon fix that. And if not soon, then in a couple of days. We did bring Steve out now. He's been fully healed and nobody's butchering him, and he's gonna have revenge on these bastards. He's still just a team, but look at that, you just did 63 damage there. We have farm traders here. I'm actually gonna buy their wheat straw and cactuses so we can plant our own as well. I mean, we got the money now. We can basically afford anything. At least for cactus, we got some really good arid environments here. And we'll want as much of a variety for planting everything, just so we can eventually craft everything. And here I'm mostly thinking about the various versions of alcohol that exist in Kenshi. But now we've finally done it. The watchtower has been built, which means we could also set up some harpoon turrets up here if we had steel bars. We do not have steel bars. So, you know, for now, we're just gonna do like a couple of crossbows and watch as yet another group of dust bandits attacks my gates. They're going after the drifters who are visiting us, but we're gonna protect this place, worry not. This is how we all get tougher. This is how we all get stronger. This is how we, together, protect the city. And this is how we build the best standing army in Kenshi. Oh, finally, somebody that's not an enemy. We got the shopping assault here. I don't think we're selling much right now. But whatever you guys want to buy, well, it's over there. Oh, they bought all of my skeleton repair kits. I forgot I put them in here. But hey, they left like 20k behind, so not so bad. Oh, and now we have a whole tower of Black Dragon ninjas that came to party with us. Lovely, lovely. One could say we are a bandit magnet, huh? They love this place, and you know what? We love them for it. The problem is they can do significant damage over here because these guys, they're pretty good fighters. Although that one just lost his primary arm due to Sargento's big giant weapon. Sargento's doing some serious damage. And so is Aura with that big old axe of hers. Slowly but surely though, the tower is getting cleared. And the bandit raid has been defeated. Let's go. I think we should invest in some beds in this tower as well. I think that might be a very good idea.
You'd think constant bandit raids would be terrible for a fledgling village struggling to build its walls, but not in Kenshi. You see, in Kenshi the saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," holds especially true, and with every swing we made and with every wound we took, we grew stronger. You don't build a formidable army overnight, it takes practice and a lot of it. And while I knew the bandits would not be suitable sparring partners forever, they also provided plenty of usable recruits to work the farms and build the walls.
Now, a couple of days has passed, and since I got a little bit of a distraction in my life right now, I had to record sporadically. So let me show you everything we did. First of all, we have completed these walls over here now, which is great. This watchtower, we fully refurbished. As you can see down below, we have some sitting areas. We have a food barrel here where we store the food we buy, and also we have this prisoner area that Vaughn is currently overseeing, and these are potential recruits that we might get in. If you go a bit further up, we have a couple of beds. Caliber and Kane is just chilling over here, and then further up we have a couple of tables where nobody's sitting right now, and then all the way to the top I did add some small wind generators that we have now researched. Speaking of research, as you can see, we are trying to work through various weapon grades. These ones are gonna get us up to Katan 1. Weapons are something that we're kind of lacking right now, and we definitely need weapons because we have a bunch of gate guards now, as you can see, and these are all new recruits. We got Love over here, we got Findus, Mommy Milka, we got Stan, Aka Oni, and Tiger, and then we have little Boris the Bone Dog, who is currently, I don't know what he's doing, but he should be bodyguarding Love. And also, as you can see, Love has actually got some high-grade Iron Fortress chest guard, which we crafted, as you can see, crafted by Cersei. And Cersei is actually crafting good stuff now. In fact, let's look at her. In her brand new house, she's currently working on Sume armor that she just finished. That's really nice, and that actually critted up to specialist grade. This is some awesome stuff. And she's working in the shack that is right next to all the iron production we have, and then over here we have Fall and Joe currently operating 2 plate beating stations, producing us armor plating, which, well, Cersei is using all of it. Lara Larry is still working on weaponsmithing, which we now have upgraded to level 2, so now we actually need fabrics over here. We have barely any research for weapons, which is kind of a shame, and I'll let you know how we got all of these, but hope is that soon we'll be able to make Katan 1 weapons here, because Lara Larry can actually get all the way up to Mark 1 already, so that should be easy. Over here at Farms, we also increased that a little bit in size because, well, we eat a lot because we have a lot of people, and in fact, if you look at this thing, you can see we reworked it a little bit as well. There are 2 cooking stations over here operated by Morladin and Snow. Right now we have no rice wheat, so nobody's operating this, but as you can see, we got a lot of rice bread and rice noodles crafted over here. And then here, Zuter the Wise is operating this biofuel distillery where he's turning hemp into fuel, and here we have a generator, a large one that is outputting a bunch of fuel, and then there's some storage for that as well. Zuter was previously working on this medical workbench, but we don't really need more first aid kits right now, so I just transferred him there. Now, as for this auto loom, this is now auto loom. It used to be operated, but now it's auto. As you can see, we have plenty of fabric stored here, and there's some sitting areas where people can chill. And then down here, I added another swamp store area or swamp store house, which just has some batteries in there. And this central area basically stayed the same. Nothing has really changed there. We are producing some building materials here. We are mining some stone. This is basically all the same. This is still a shopping area where we have some stuff that Lara Larry made. And Kairos is still researching up here. We have a couple of books that we can spend, but this bench has been upgraded to level 4, and we can actually upgrade it to level 5, which we will, you know what, do now. Now over here where we have the leather tanning benches, we are almost out of animal skins now, so that actually really worked well. We have lots and lots of leather stored here, and in fact, Pickle has now taken over this leather armor crafting bench. Pickle, who can actually make high grade armor quality, so that's really good. In fact, he has made some light leather armor high grades over here, and there's some storm goggles, which I believe were made by Cersei before. I also imported a bunch of like different armor that I'll show you in a sec. Basically stuff like this mercenary curious that Stanny is using right now. I went to the Shacklands and I bought a bunch of that. Well, when I say a bunch, it wasn't really a bunch because they didn't have any good quality, but basically we went trading at Squin, we went trading at Flats Lagoon, and that's where we got for the first time some high grade armor. But now we have Cersei making stuff for us, like this armor racks, plated ones, a specialist grade, made by Cersei, and all of these faceplates and flare helmet, yeah, made by Cersei as well. Oh yeah, let's not forget, I got another Steve. We now have 2 bull Steves, which is great, but the little one still has to grow. Now, last but not least is this section that I wanted to show you, which nobody's working right now. Basically, we have the wheat farms here, and then we have the cactus farms here. This right there is where we turn the wheat straw into straw flour, and then for some reason we have nomads stuck up here, but that doesn't matter. We have this thing producing bread. We have a bunch of bread over here, and then down below we actually have this shop counter that nothing is being sold at right now, but the main reason we have that there is because I wanted to turn the cactuses into cactus rum, but then I decided, hey, we actually need food, so we turned cactuses here. This is where Dart was working before, into a lot of cactus soup. But yeah, also Dart is one of our new recruits. He's a ranger. In fact, let's go through the other recruits. We have Cricket over here with a really cool helmet and the katana and some a holy plate. I believe Katsura is also new. He's a Scorchlander wearing some stuff that we probably stole off of some of the red sabers that were raiding us. Eloy is also here, who is a hyper drone, and he's helping on the farms. Then we have Snow. She's been cooking all the rice bread that we have. Yet not cooking up to almost level 40 now. And then there's Big Burly Keys, who is currently working on these wells. And then I think that might be it for all the new recruits. We also have a couple of crossbows here, because often the dust bandits come through here, but right now we don't have anybody operating these. Basically, home hasn't really grown as much in size as it did in population recently. But the important part is we now actually have defenders out here, which is very, very helpful when we have raiders coming in, because otherwise the raiders would run straight up to Sato and Yamzi, and then these guys would get hurt in the process. Which is another reason why I built chairs in here, so we always have some people who are off duty just sitting here, and then they can help with fighting. Basic weapon grades 5 now completed, which means we can now Q Katan 1 weapons. Yeah, we really need some new stuff here, don't we? We have spent quite a lot of money on buying blueprints already, probably around 200k, plus the bunch of books that we also bought for Kairos to do research. But with the 75k that we have remaining, we could go a little bit of an adventure and go all the way here to Black Scratch. And on Black Scratch there is a big library where you can buy a bunch of blueprints that otherwise you couldn't. So I think I'm gonna send Yamzi there alone. He's our fastest boy at 27 miles per hour, and he's just gonna go on an adventure. Yamzi made it safely to Black Scratch, so let's go into the library quickly. And as you can see, they have a couple of blueprints here. And Yamzi actually spent all of the 75k we had, and we got a lot of different weapons now that we're gonna get to crafting back at home. And Lara Larry is already on that. So after a couple of days of very hard work, Lara Larry has now created a bunch of new Katan 1 and 2 weapons. I think most characters now have the new stuff created or crafted by Lara Larry. But of course there's more. We've been crafting a lot of armor as well. And Cersei is almost up to 80 armor smith, at which point she's gonna have guaranteed specialist grade armor. And just to make sure that she's got enough armor plating to work, I got 4 plate beating stations over here now. In fact, this area is where I spent most of the time working on in these last 5 days. So let's take a look at it. We have an extra iron refiner over here where Dingus, our new recruit, is working and creating iron plates for us. In fact, iron mining was a big problem for us, so look at that. We now have 3 iron ore drills Mark II that are being fully operated constantly, and of course there's still 3 people mining over here. A couple new recruits here as well, Sisyphus, so he can carry iron around. Garunimo, the smallest shack ever, is mining or using one of these iron refineries. And there's also John Kenshi, who is mining happily ever after here. I think another of our our new recruits is Chesterstone the Wise, who is a Scorchlander, so of course he is beating the plate over here, getting his armor smithing up, really nice. And then we have another Scorchlander, Salim, over here, who's also a crossbow master. He is turning all of those skins that we still have left into more leather. And yeah, we need leather because Pickle has been really hard at work here at making leather high vests. We were missing a lot of these shirts, and look at that, he actually made a specialist grade one. I have Barry and the Steves being kind of like constant traders now. They went trading to Squin again, and then at some other point they went to the Hive Village where I actually bought the recipe for those Hive shirts. And speaking of recipes, Yamze is back at the Great Library. I sent him there just so we could find some shirt blueprints or something like that. He did not find that. We did get a leather vest and some other clothing and some other weapons, but basically for now I'm just gonna have him wait here at this bar, and he's gonna check in the morning when the stuff resets. Hopefully they're gonna have the recipes we need at that point. Another new recruit that I haven't mentioned yet is Carlos, a martial artist who is also Scorchlander, so he's going into weaponsmithing as well and working in the same building as Cersei is, and looks like Calvin Kane is just gonna chill out here next to him. He's making some kanasai bows because these take a lot of time, so his weaponsmithing stats are going up nicely, all the way up to Ultra Fitted Blade now, which is pretty good. And pretty much everybody in here has gotten some pieces of new armor, and most of them got new weapons as well, so at least we have up to Catan too, and as you can see we have assassin dust coats and such, like the Snowy sporting over here. And since we are so good at producing rice bread and noodles, I actually made Darth quit working on the cactus soups, and he has actually produced some cactus rum that we've sold most of it now that I see that already. So hey, it's working. Since we also have quite a lot of bread, we might actually start turning the wheat straw that we get from here into something like grog. I think you produce grog out of wheat. I'm just gonna research it. Or I guess Kairos is gonna do that for me. Now another very important thing that I did in between is I renamed home to Lapsus Lazuli. And it's gonna be a beautiful mistake of a green gem. Now with grog research, I think we're gonna move its production up here on the roof. And there it is. Done. Water, wheat straw, let's go. And since Darth is my alcohol master, I'm gonna get him on working on that as well. Well, not that we have any wheat straw right now. For now, he's just gonna go back to producing cactus rum for us. If it was only about making money, I think 3 cactus soups are as much money as rum is here, and they take a lot less cactuses to make, so probably could make money out of that. But this is not just about making money, this is about, well, doing everything we can do to make it a real city. And speaking of a real city, right next to the watchtower, I built what is now a gym. You know, there's this small little area where you can sit and chill, and then we have a couple of training dummies that mostly nobody's using right now. But people who don't have anything else to do can run in here and, you know, just train a bit. I'll expand this later, and I'll probably add some more like rooftop crafting or training or whatever we're gonna do. I'm not yet sure, but it's gonna be very helpful for like future gate guards and our future army, that we can train them up here in safety before we send them out to patrol or guard the gates. And speaking of patrolling or guarding the gates, we got Black Dragon Ninjas coming to raid us, a very tiny group this time around compared to the last we've seen. It's a good thing we got big boys guards here who are right now getting hurt. Oh, somebody got shot for 130, that's huge. But yeah, this battle should not last very long. We're pretty strong now compared to where we were when these guys were constant issue. And as you can see, like even Steve, the big Steve, is just massive, doing like 70 damage to these things. Yeah, the poor ninjas are not really gonna stand a chance at all. And Boreas is already playing limbs. You'll have to see it. We're gonna capture some of these who dare to invade us, and maybe they will turn into potential future recruits.
While the bandit raids did not represent a challenge for Lapsus Lazuli any longer, there were still many dangers across Kenshi that my armies would have to face. Better armor and weapons definitely helped, but the soldiers needed some actual practice as well. Besides, the level of my craftsman's benches was still far from the best, and we required more ancient science books to unlock all the crafting secrets. So it was time we ventured out into the world and raid ancient worlds for their knowledge, while at the same time honing the skills of my army. But first, my crafters had to stitch up a couple of shirts that Yamzi finally got from the Great Library.
Pickle is working on the leather shirts that we got the research for, and in fact we are working on so many more things than just
just shirts. Yeah, I actually fixed the other side of the leatherworking area, and Fall here is making some Ronin cloth pants. I also added this little house here where Joe is working, and Joe is working on some gis and basic shirts, sandals, and straw hats. And the main reason why we're working on that is because we have a couple of new recruits. Basically, these are going to be our farmers, and I'm just building them their outfits. As you can see, their former employment was they were bandits, so they need to heal up after they got beat up badly. Also, I started working on this residential district that for now just has houses and some basic lights, and this is going to be a street coming through here. This is going to be where people are going to live, they're going to have their personal shops and all that stuff, but as this still needs a lot of work. Now, I loaded up Steve's with a bunch of stuff that we got to sell over here. We're going to go sell that. Well, we're making quite a nice money out of all of these trades, up to 93,000 now. And now with that done, the squad is going to go and hit the Deadlands. And while those guys are traveling, I forgot to introduce a couple of new characters we got over here. Inercia Gutierrez has joined us, and she's working on the wells right now. And Craxus has also joined us, who has joined her on the wells. As for those who are trading and or raiding right now, Lieutenant Will is new, and he's leading the squad mostly because he is the slowest. And speaking of the slowest, Yamza is definitely not slow, but he's constantly being chased around here. Who is this? Trollmasters, but of course. A couple of headless trolls who never hurt nobody, right, Yamze? He's gonna be joining the squad in the Deadlands. Our front gates have been attacked by the starving bandits in between. I think we should be quite okay, although there's a lot of them. We don't have that many people defending right now, and Boris did go down. These guys over here are too far away to even recognize what's happening, so I'm just gonna send them there. We wouldn't want Boris to get butchered, right? There you go, here comes the reinforcements. Go get them, boys. We shouldn't have too many issues dealing with them now. But that definitely tells me we need more gate guards here, because Tiger actually went down, almost losing his leg in the process. Luckily, we do have big burly Shaq like Love here, who can just smash everything and destroy them. Now, as for my boys who are going out there, they don't really have very good acid protection, so we're gonna have to be fast and we're gonna have to be careful. And since the ladies call me fast, now I just need to learn how to be careful. Yamze, who's a pretty sneaky boy, is gonna open this armory, and now I expect there's gonna be plenty of spiders in here. Holy shit, that's a lot. So I'm gonna try doing it a bit differently then. I'm gonna try to convince them all to just come outside. Oh, that's a lot. It's not all of them, but it is a lot. Okay, I think I managed to taunt the last 3 of them. Let's see if we can get these. Oh yeah, they're coming outside. The rest of my people are just gonna run inside. We should be fine now to explore this safely. A couple of pieces of masterwork and specialist grade gear, and otherwise a lot of very good weapons that I'm gonna give to my people now. Now with all those treasures in hand, let's go to this ruin. That one I know we will actually have to fight for. And it's not gonna be easy since we are already taking the acid rain damage. But we are not doing this because it's easy. We are doing it because, well, we want the ancient loot. We just need to swim through a little bit of acid to get it. And hope we do not get shot by harpoons. But now we're gonna have our revenge. With our new weapons in hand, we're going for these scally boys. And we're not taking no for an answer. There isn't that many defenders here. They are tough though, but once we can defeat them, hopefully, there should be some good loot we can find here. Well, we got a bit more fun stuff here, like this police jacket and a bunch of stuff we can sell, plus some skeleton repair kits. And most importantly, 3 ancient science books. Now we're gonna go sell all that stuff at Black Desert City that we have extra, which got us almost up to 130k. And now we're gonna go rest here at the bar just so we can heal some of the acid injuries. And back at home, not much has changed. We did get a new recruit called Hunchy, and Hunchy is helping mine over here. Plus, some of my new farmers got pieces of their new outfit. Still don't have all of it, of course. But trust me, Joe is working hard on that. We got a couple new guards. We got some aimbots over here who's gonna be our
guards instead of Sato, who is on a journey right now. As for traders, they are mostly healed, which means we're going onwards. There are a bunch more ruins we gotta hit out here in the Deadlands, and more ancient loot to get. By the way, good thing we got these new guards, because Mommy Milka almost lost a leg to them, and same thing happened to Boris, you know? Yeah, you can't really see the bolt right now, but there was definitely a bolt in here previously. In the meantime, the traders, or should I say raiders, have made it to the next armory. We're gonna do it the same as we did before. Sargento's gonna taunt the spiders out. Luckily, there were just 2 this time around. And everybody else is just gonna run inside. Goodbye, spooters. We found more cool stuff. A couple pieces of armor that are really good. Edge Type 1 Desert Saber, which is really nice. A specialist grade Old World bow. And a bunch of other weapons, some arms and all that good stuff. I dished out some more of the armor that we have found over here, and now we're going further north towards this outpost next, which is always the easiest to break into because, well, it's unguarded. We just need to break the lock. Even more cool stuff, 2 samurai helmets, leg, this is the best one, the Foreign Saber Edge Type 1, a couple other weapons. So now only one more target remains here. There's one last ruin in the Deadlands. And I guess also iron spiders on the way, which can hurt quite a lot, and they actually downed Steve. We also have this big old skeleton here who's got quite the defense stats, but he is very much alone. Back at home, the battle also continues. There are more swamp raptors coming in here. Oh, apparently we even wiped out their nest. As you can see, there is indeed a lot of them coming in. And although swamp raptors are slowly dying, the squad has made it to the next ruin. Yes, one of our Steves is in the recovery coma, but hopefully we're gonna have the strength to defeat the skeletons defending this place. Especially since now we have some new weapons and armor as well. In fact, we have quite a lot of upgrades since we entered the Deadlands. We got some more cool stuff. Very importantly, we got another set of engineering research and some more ancient science books, plus some more weapons and stuff to sell. And we just recruited 3 new aimbots. Now let's go sell stuff at the Black Desert City and then we can go back home. And we are already over 200k now. Now let's go back home before we get completely acid rained. Now that the traders have arrived back home, they went back to work. Morladin is cooking rice noodles again, even though we have plenty of food stored. And I wanted to show you that we got 2 new guards up front. We got Big Bulky, who's a Scally Boy, and we got Leto. Plus, some of our new aimbots already have geared up and are now protecting us from here. And of course, we have these guys up here. Also, look how alive our city is. Look how many people there are. There's some drifters just walking around. They also have dogs. You love to see it. It looks lived in, even it's still incomplete. We can definitely get them drinks. Look at that grog. Look at how much it sells for. That's really nice. Yeah, I see we have plenty of cactus rum as well. I'm just gonna have it transferred in here so we can actually sell it. Unfortunately, not everybody can afford that, but they certainly want it though. Clearly, we're gonna need some cheaper booze in here. But what is cheaper than rum? Hashish, and maybe even gin. Kars is gonna make sure we research all that important stuff. There it is. The hemp processor has been built. We are making hashish. Since we are over here on the border of swamps, that thing is not gonna sell well here. We're gonna have to transport it probably down to Flats Lagoon, that's where it would sell the best. But I'm not gonna do that until we have a big batch ready. But also, the traders are going out there once again. Not to trade, but just to explore the Burning Forest a bit. For the Burning Forest is worth exploring, even though there's just ruins here. There is more than just ruins here. This ancient vault could have a lot of cool stuff in it. Morladin himself is gonna brave this place this time around. And I already see a spider right there. Oh, and just perfectly, we got attacked by some blood spiders in the meantime. Now these guys have to shoot that spider and they're both missing, which means Pyric and Sargento are gonna have to deal with this. And Pyric is already getting smacked, but Sargento is doing a lot of damage to that spider, and that spider is gonna go flying. Perfect, let's get some more down here then. But hey, at least this big spooter is getting damaged by my rangers. The rest are gonna destroy them as well, hopefully. Even though this thing can hurt us, it cannot hurt us as much as it used to. Their armor and training really paid off. Here come the final 2. Let's see if we can destroy them before they can hurt us too much. Barry and Aura went for this one, and Barry got hit for 95. Wow. Yeah, that's something that this armor of his didn't block. But Sargento and Pyric already destroyed the other spiders, so this one should go down real fast. That's all spiders dealt with. So let's go loot this place then. We only got 5 ancient science books out of this, which is not that much. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to sell, but I was hoping for more, to be honest. But well, there's more ruins we can find out here, so let's go further south, I guess. Oh, looks like we met some gorilla bandits. You know what? We should go visit their leader. He does reside quite close somewhere down here, and he might have some treasure for us. We've arrived to the old prison, and I told Yamzi to go unlock the front gate. Now we know there's gonna be some nasty enemies in there. Nasty mostly because they are martial artists. So preferably, we would want to get them outside and fight them outside. In hindsight, that might not be the easiest way to do it, but hey, if we can, we will. Luckily for us, the martial artists, of course, they don't have much gear on them, so once we hit them, they go down fast. Unfortunately, there is quite a lot of them. As you can see, they are doing quite a lot of damage to us when they hit us. And the big Steve is already down. Yeah, they are quite strong. So let's for now pull back and meet them outside, because I know that their big boss is coming. Oh, there he is. Him we would actually want to fight inside, actually, so his big weapon doesn't really do as much damage as it otherwise could. Look at those numbers, jeez. I'm gonna have my rangers focus on him, so maybe they can stun lock him, but so far we're doing so good. Oh, well, never mind, Zuther went down. Sargento, Aura, Barry, let's go get the big boy. Yeah, I think most of his minions are down. And his left leg is not doing so good, and he is down as well. Let's make sure he does not escape, because he's got our first Meitu blade, this exile plank, which is extremely heavy. But if you can get somebody strong enough to wield it, that'd be pretty good. Now let's go quickly loot this place and see what we can find. Well, there was definitely enough here to fill up Steve. We got some things to sell, we got some food, we got a bunch of weapons, so we're gonna be trading well. But first we're gonna do some more exploration. We're gonna visit another ruin further down to the south. We have found what we were looking for when we were looking for the strange vault. I'm gonna send Yamzi to break in, and then let's see if Pyric can bring some more of them out. No, I guess we're all going in then. There's a lot of skeletons, there's a lot of red numbers, but I feel like we have better gear. We have better weapons, so we should have the advantage. Although I see Sato is like right in the middle of a melee against a spider, which is probably not a good idea for a ranged character. Although Steve's doing some good damage. Never mind, Steve's down. But hopefully these guys are gonna be down in here soon enough as well. But in the meantime, let's get to work. And this is what we were looking for. A blunt weapon. Legendary mace called Vigilante's Judgment. It's almost 50 kilos, so almost unusable for us right now, but eventually somebody's gonna be using this in battle. But of course there is much more to loot in here. There was indeed more. Stevie's full now. We got a spring bat, Master Orc one, we got this nice blade jacket, and we got a couple more weapons to sell. Plus Zuther the Wise got a new cool saber for himself, a razor one that really bleeds out enemies. But now, since a lot of our people are injured, let's get the hell out of here, shall we? We're just gonna go to the north, to Catan, and we're gonna trade there. We're gonna first go check with the shinobi thieves to see if they've got any backpacks for us. Unfortunately, they do not have any backpacks. So instead, let's go cash in our bounty, 50k for the big gorilla boy, and then we go sell the extra stuff. And that got us almost up to 440k in the bank. So you know what? We now deserve to rest and recuperate for a bit. Heal our wounds here. Now that we're fully healed, we're gonna leave this city because there seems to be a battlefield here. Lots of beakers attacking it. So you know what? I'm not gonna leave until we take some of the stuff ourselves. Yeah, I'd say all those skins are worth it. Now, we're gonna go north towards Morn, towards Flash Lagoon, and most importantly towards this next strange vault. And once that one is dealt with, we can safely go back home. We do have some Band of Bones boys attacking us in the meantime, so I guess we're gonna have to deal with these on the way. They're worthy warriors, but there's not enough of them to pose any trouble at all. But they are good combat training, and we always take that. The west of the way north was pretty peaceful, if we ignore the fact we got clipped by an invisible Venge beam just on the edge of Venge as we were passing by, and some people got hit a little bit. But mostly we are ready and healed for what is to come. Come on, Skelly boys, let's do this once again. We destroyed one vault already, we can destroy another. I've said this many times, but these skeletons should be stronger for what they are protecting. They are protecting legendary weapons, but I guess that's just good for us that they're not. Now this Dynasty's Revenge, a hacker is what we were looking for here. Another legendary, pretty heavy one, but not too heavy, and this deals a lot of damage. In fact, we're gonna give it to Aura. She's been with us since almost the start, and she can do a lot of damage with this one. And she's gonna look badass doing it. In fact, we got more stuff out of this place that both of the Steves could even carry. We got lots of good weapons, 2 Falling Suns actually, so that's really nice. What is not really nice is that slave traders are coming with a slave raid towards Lapsus Lazuli. That cannot be allowed. Let us go back home. And we just got beamed because we got stopped by this silly Southern Hive. Well, we're not gonna be the most healthy once we get back home, and we're not even in Venge yet. Yeah, this bloody place is dangerous to travel through during the day. But luckily we got back home before the slavers did, and thankfully without any further incidents. So let's go heal up and let's prepare for that inevitable thing.
The word has been spreading of what I was building in Shem, and more than just bandits were starting to pay attention. The slavers were hoping to get a free pass for the markets down south. The band of Bones warriors were hoping for an honorable fight, but all they got was a slow death on the blood-soaked sands. Starving bandits prayed to get some food the hard way, and dusters were just looking for someone to rob and hurt, not necessarily in that order. But all of them got more than they bargained for. They all got a bolt up their ass and a sword down their throat, and both went down so smoothly even their professionally experienced mothers would have shed a tear of pride to see it happen.
Yeah, nothing is getting into Lapsus Lazuli unless I say so. Also, we just finished Advanced Weapons Grades 2. Why are we doing that? Well, I finally upgraded the weaponsmithy all the way to level 3, for which we now need steel bars. And for that, I expanded our mining operations over here. We have 2 new level 3 iron refineries over here that Hanchi is operating. And then we have 2 steel refineries that are completely new and are operated by 2 new recruits. We got Grace over here and Quack on this side. And over here, we already have plenty of steel stored up that these guys have been producing. In fact, the bottleneck right now is mostly iron plates. We also made way more money. We got almost up to 600k now. I sent Yamza and my Steves to trade all of our weapons, and when I say all, I mean definitely not all, because we still have a lot of these stockpiled over here, and a lot more that Laura Larry has produced that we can still sell. But what we really want is these next levels of advanced weapon grades. We can get Mark 1 and Mark 2 that Laura Larry is going to be producing, and we also want chain armor crafting soon, but right now we don't have the ancient science books. But before we do that, it's time for some more exports. We got lots of grog and rum. We got lots of gear that we are no longer using, plus of course, as I mentioned, we have lots of weapons. And I did say we want to establish shops in various cities. So maybe we could start where everything started, down here in the swamps and in Shark. So I loaded up Steves with all the good stuff we've got, and I'm going to be sending a couple of traders to establish a shop down in the Shark. And we got Sargento, Rio the Wicked, and Barry to guard them on their way down there. I was also thinking I'm probably gonna be reworking all these. We're gonna move our stone mines maybe further out there, extend the walls, and this seems like a very nice central area for our city, where maybe we could build the HQ for our glorious leader, Morladin. And it does look like there's still some fighting happening in Shark, so I'm guessing we're not gonna have that many customers. When half of your customers are dead, yeah, that could be a problem. In any case, I'm gonna buy this residential building over here for 16k. I set up the shop, and we have Ela and Craxus working over here. Craxus being the guard, Ela being the shopkeeper. They got a little bit of privacy back here where they can eat and drink and sleep and have their personal belongings stored up. And of course, here we're going to be selling stuff. As for the counters, we have one counter where we have grog, rum, and then some medicine. And then the other counter is set up for various weapons that we have crafted. These are mostly crafted by Carlos, and some that we have also taken from bandits. Now I hope Elo and Craxus are gonna get some customers, because the rest of these guys, they're leaving back home. And I loaded up both of Steve's again with some grog, rum, bunch of clothing, bunch of weapons, all the stuff we had. And Rio, Barry, and Sargento are gonna be escorting Quick and our new recruit Tiana to the new job. And the new job posting is gonna be at the hub. I like the idea of living somewhere central, so I think we're gonna buy this storm house and we're gonna slowly rebuild it. Let's go repair that. Now, the one unfortunate part is that these guys are not really selling enough building materials to set this shop up, but maybe they got some more here at the rebel base. Yeah, that's a no. I should have brought them with me. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess that's fine. I'm gonna send Barry one of his thieves over to Squin and we're gonna buy it there. And Barry, chilling at Squin, found out that these guys only have 4 building materials. Are you kidding me? That's not enough, which means we're gonna have to continue forward to this way station next. Or maybe we get lucky and this trader's caravan is gonna be selling some. They are not. It's more like it. Now, as we're traveling to the border zone, I just wanted to apologize to you guys. I know my commentary hasn't been on point for at least the later half of this video. It's got to do with me being very tired, you know, getting a new dog, a puppy who doesn't really sleep that well at night. I'm waking up at 4 in the morning every day, and yeah, it shows. I can tell that I'm lacking energy in my commentary. And the video itself is not turning out as well as I was hoping it would, but I will make sure it's gonna be as good as possible, because you know, I did this to myself. But enough self-pity, let's go build this house. Well, I spent way too long setting up this shop, but the shop has been set up. We got Tiana being the shopkeeper and Quig being the guard over here. And this is basically their shop. There's some storage over here. And then upstairs they got some privacy. They got their own table here. They got their own beds. And since, you know, it's Kenshi, it's very janky, I couldn't place anything on the table here. For some reason it was saying that it's like outside of the house and I couldn't. So well, good thing they got their food storage over here. So they're gonna have to eat out of that if Sargento doesn't need everything. And then in here we're selling some weapons, we're selling some shirts, some rum and some grog, and we're gonna leave these guys to it. They can sell stuff to people at the hub. And as we slowly return back home with this squad, I wanted to check on Eli and Craxus just to see if they sold anything. And I don't know, there still seems to be quite a lot of rum and grog in here, but you know, these guys got time to do it still. And if people would stop killing each other in the swamps, maybe they would have time to shop. And now that we have set up our first shops, I think it's time we get some better research again. We're pretty much out of books over here and we can't really do anything. So I was thinking of sending my team past the crater and going into Shun. And that's where we can find lots of books and maybe some AI cores as well. Because we have stockpiled quite a lot of steel bars, and since both of my weaponsmiths can now actually make Edge Type 1 weapons, I really want to get them working instead of sitting around. So Sargento is going to be leading the squad, and we are going down south. And while the boys are traveling, it looks like we're getting raided by triangle bandits. I have a feeling these guys are not going to survive for long. And we're also being attacked by a Band of Bones, a small group, that's true, but oh no, it is definitely not a small group. It's good to see Boris has actually grown all the way to adult now and is doing like 65 damage, 63 damage, just chomping these poor shack apart. Oh, how the boys have grown. And these guards training here constantly, yeah, they're definitely getting stronger, which is exactly what you want to see when you have guards protecting your capital. And looks like that is not the last of the bandits we're gonna see. They're getting bolder, that's for sure. But boldness itself is not really gonna help them once we get all the best research we can get and build new weapons and armor. Well, we might not have the weapons yet, but let's put this to the test and let's see how well we can do against these guys. And as we are slaughtering these guys, this is the perfect time to say, would you rather be slaughtered, or would you rather be the one doing the slaughtering? And what I'm talking about? Well, if you become a channel member, you could be on our side instead of being a bandit out there. You could be the one doing the chopping over here and not the one being on the ground bleeding out. Just think about it. It's not a threat. Just think about it. Death or glory. Pick one. And as these bandits have been defeated, there's only one correct answer. Threats aside, the travelers have made it to the first of the ancient libraries. And Yamzi is gonna break in, where we have found the grand total of 5 books. That's really disappointing. The second ancient library was at least a little bit better. We got 1 ancient science book and a couple of normal ones. And the third one was even better. We got 3 ancient science books plus some regular stuff. We had to fight for library number 4, and I got 1 whole ancient science book out of it. The 5th one was no better, unfortunately. And last, the 6th one, yeah, also shit, just 1 ancient science book. So in total we got 7 out of this, but lots of normal books at least. But worry not, more interesting and more dangerous things lie ahead. For this armory is bound to have plenty of scary spiders in it again. Ryu's gonna open it up, and then, oh, he's gonna taunt them out. Oh, look at that, we got some Garus helping out. These poor Garus are gonna get destroyed. But at the same time, we have Yamzi and Sato shooting the spiders, so that's working out well for us. Okay, maybe not so much. I'm gonna send Pyric and Aura after this big one. We can do a lot of damage there. There you go. Aura's got basically the robot killing weapon. That's a perfect one, so she can do, look at that, a lot of damage. Now, I didn't quite see how many there were in there, but yeah, there's a few more. We won't have the Garu help this time around, unfortunately. But this one's almost dead from my bolts. No, actually, it's full on dead from the bolts, and now we have the rest of the boys coming in. There you go, that was easy. Aura for the win there. No major injuries, and now we can loot this place. And this being an armory, we only got like 1 book, but otherwise we got some cool weapons as well that we can use. Or sell, of course. And with this armory dealt with, only 1 target remains and we're going further north for it. And there it is in the distance. We know we can expect spiders once again, so let's find them and let's get them out. I realize this is not exactly city building what we are doing right now, but is very much needed if you want to build a city, right? You need all the ancient stuff if you want to make it perfect and amazing just the way I want to. I don't think we're gonna be able to deal with this many that are coming down. That might be a few too many, to be honest. Yeah, 5 at a time is gonna hurt. But let's go get them, boys. Let's see if we can destroy them before they destroy us. This is what these guys have to sacrifice for the greater good, for the greater empire, and for the city that Morladin wants to build. Actually, that was much easier than I expected it's gonna be. But of course, there is more. More sacrifices need to be made, because there's a lot more spiders in here, unfortunately. So once again, we send in the troops, and even the glorious leader himself is getting into battle, which can be quite dangerous with his really crappy head protection. It's all about the looks, you know. And while there's a lot more spiders where that came from, the squad will not back down, and they will not give in. A couple last one remain, and once those are dealt with, we can go looting. Yeah, that was a lot of spiders. But the loot was also well worth it. We got 21 ancient science books out of that, we got 2 engineering research, plus very importantly we got 4 AI cores, the most unique and rare of the research artifacts out there. We need these to research the final tech level, and eventually we're gonna have to find more, but for now this is a good start. Now we're gonna hit just 2 more ancient ruins and then we go home. Our first stop is gonna be this ancient library. That certainly got a bunch of creepy crawlers around. Quite a lot of them in fact, but we should be alright. And then some bigger crawlers that are not so creepy. Actually, maybe these are even creepier, but it was kind of worth it for 2 ancient science books. Our next stop is gonna be somewhere over here on the beach, even though our pathway is slightly obstructed by many big things that we have ran into. Our goal is clear. It is this strange vault right here, and we already know that legendaries await us in here. Just gotta deal with a couple of silly scally boys. And there it is. There's my legendary Tempest Stampede heavy weapon. It's extremely heavy, but it's also extremely awesome. Plus, we found an assortment of other really high quality weapons and Sume Armor Mark IV. Now, since we are already over here, I'm thinking we're gonna go a bit further north and we're gonna visit this ruin as well. Unfortunately, it would require us to swim through acid water over here, which, let's be real, is not very good for anybody involved. So we're just gonna take Pyric, the Hivers, and the Steves, who do not get hurt by acid. I'm gonna make them swim across. Hopefully, they will be enough to deal with whatever skeletons they're gonna be there. Actually, looking at it, I don't think there's any skeletons protecting this place at all, so we're just gonna loot it then. At least it's gonna be good swimming lessons for some. Well, it was kind of worth it. We got 5 new ancient science books and we got 3 more engineering research, plus a iron club and an old world bow. And now that the swimming is finally behind us, we can go home and cash in all the research we got. Now we have so many research materials here. The world truly is our oyster, what we want to go for first. First things first, I think we're gonna go for chain armor crafting. Then we're gonna unlock higher weapon grades. And since chainmail can be quite the lengthy process to craft, I set up 2 benches over here. You can see we're using a lot of steel bars to actually make the sheets. And then later on we'll be able to produce some chainmail over here. And looks like some of the band of boners here do not appreciate our new use of steel, because a lot of them came in here and they're actually attacking us right at our steel production? That cannot be allowed. Guards, what were you doing to let them through? Actually, looking at all the corpses out here, the guards must have been quite busy. There's another part where we're gonna be needing the steel though. I wanna set up robotics bench where we could start making our own robotic limbs. Getting that thing done is kinda the epitome of all the crafting you can do in Kenshi. It's got the most moving parts, the most things you have to craft, so yeah, that's gonna be actually kind of cool next level for us. But I do believe that we need a proper building to house all of that in. And so I queued up a couple of these outpost buildings to be researched. And once those are done, yeah, we're gonna be building them. And while we wait for that, I was thinking maybe we should go and establish another shop somewhere. You see, we got a lot of hashish produced over here. So we're gonna send all of that hashish down south. And we're gonna have Caliburn Kane be the seller of that, since he did produce it all. So let's send these guys to Flats Lagoon, where it's not always easy to find a house to stay, but hopefully we can find a suitable one. Yeah, unfortunately they did not have an extra house to sell, so I had to do some shenanigans to fit one in, and we're gonna buy it now. It's gonna be a bit of a tight fit, but they got the shopping counter set up over here with all the hashish. They got some food here, they got a table where they can eat, and they have the beds where they can sleep. And I feel like having a selling house in a back alley like this, yeah, that's kind of fitting. I like it. Hopefully these guys can make us some money, and I'm happy we set up our 3rd shop.
With the first shops established in the neighboring cities, Lapsus Lazuli became more than just a city. It became the capital of a proper faction. No longer were we dependent on the scavenging and rare traders that might visit us. Now the wealth began steadily rolling in from multiple sources. Being a shopkeeper became a respectable and desired position in Morladen's crew. Alas, not everyone could be a trader away from home, for there was still a lot of work to be done at the city proper. So Morladen decreed local shops to be established at Lapsus Lazuli, and I went straight to work.
And indeed, I've done a lot of work, so let me show you what we've done. First things first, we got roads. Our first roads are here. The roads are connecting the front gates all the way back to this iron area. And the iron area has been extended. You can see that I have extended the back fences to include this area because we wanted to build this giant place where I could build a bunch of generators. Let me show you. One of our new recruits, Vingardium, is gonna pop in here and is gonna show you, look, we have 3 generators running over here. We got plenty of fuel, lots of new batteries. This is basically giant battery storage. We have another new recruit, Boris Morris here, who is learning how to be a proper medic. You can see it's going up, and he's making us some medical kits. There's also Ron, who has been with us for quite some time. I just didn't have the chance to really introduce him because Ron, right now, yeah, he's working on producing fuel for us, but eventually Ron's gonna be the one, the only, who's gonna be working on robotics. Now, I'll extend this. I also built a bunch of new houses. As you can see, we have a couple over here, we have this tower over here. Lots of these are still unfinished, but I will show you which ones I did finish. So Snow, one of our cooks over here, has got herself a new home. If you come over here into the swampy area, she can pop in here, and this is her little shack. She's got her own storage area. She's got, well, her own food and such. She can sit here at her own table. You can see she's a cook, so she's got plenty of food stored up. Even has a dog bowl over here if any of the animals want to pop in, but this is a very like a humble abode. She lives here in the swamps, very close to her workplace. Now, our other cook, Inertia Gutierrez, who is cooking what Morladen used to cook, she also has her own home. As you can see, I'm taking good care of my cooks, and her home is this big house over here, which I might say looks pretty good. She does have her own shop counter over here where she plans on selling the rice noodles she makes. But as you can see, she's got lots of like food supplies, some bread over there. Right here, she's got her own table where she can enjoy some food and drinks, and of course her own storage. And back here, that's her bed. That's her safe. That's her like nightstand. And yeah, that's her home. When she's not actually cooking, she goes over here and she can be, as you can see, she can be a seller. And hopefully, eventually, she's gonna be able to sell some food here. But wait, there's more. Sisyphus, our iron miner, has his own home here as well. And he's all about that iron. As you can see, he is stockpiling lots and lots of piles and piles of iron. But he also has his own fireplace. He's got his own bed over here. He's got his own chest. And lots of like various iron pieces. Like iron spider pieces, he's got metal plates, he's got some steel there, he's got some building materials. This dude is making something. I don't know what he's making, I don't know what he's cooking up with all these materials, but that's what he's doing in his own home. And you know, whenever he's not gonna be working in the mines, he can just retire back here and do his thing. But also, in this alleyway, I finally set up one of these houses to be actually usable. The rest are still empty. And it's the last one over here. As you can see, it's an animal shop, but to be honest, it's a farm shop. You can see our two farmers, Snack and Vaughn, are here. And Vaughn is the shopkeeper, Snack is just chilling. And this is basically the farm shop. We got all kinds of farming supplies in here. As you can see, everything is basically just focused on farm. And while Vaughn is not actually farming, he is the shopkeeper over here. Now upstairs, we also have a couple of places where people can sleep and eat and drink and all that kind of stuff. And I have all of the rest of the farmers, the farmer Juan and Tua and Thra and Far and all those guys, whenever they don't have work, which is rare, they also go and they chill in that house. So it's kind of like a barracks for my farmers. Now speaking of shops, I also rework our leatherworking area, which, you know, we've had for a long time, and now it actually has the proper armor signs, so people can know that we sell armor stuff here. And yeah, we still have some. As you can see, Fall and Pickle are working on stuff right now, but Joe, whenever Joe is out of work, he comes over here and he's the shopkeeper. I designated him to be the one. Now of course down here is just workshops and work areas, and this is the shop, but upstairs is where my people can go and chill. They have a couple of beds, they can sleep on the job, they have a couple of storage pieces, you know, they can sit whenever they want to, like over here and over here, you know, and then read and relax and chill. And since they're leather workers, they also have a couple of these like fur rugs, because, well, they fit. In between, I also upgraded the research bench to the final iteration, so Kairos is happily researching on the last one. We still have the 2 AI cores, but I want to find 2 more. Basically, we need 4 to unlock Edgewalkers, and once we do that, we can make, well, basically the best weapons we can make. Which is basically why Larry isn't working on anything right now, because, well, he doesn't need to. His skill is Edge Type 1, that's what we want. And his weaponsmith has actually been upgraded to the final weaponsmith, so whenever he can, he's gonna be working over here producing weapons for us. And Carlos has actually been training even longer than Larry, when with his Scorchlander bonus, he's up to 80 weaponsmithing now, which means he can actually make Edge Type 3 weapons, which is pretty insane. Not that you can even, like, research to that point. You know, the best you can research is Edge Type 1, and then you can, you know, crit to Edge Type 2. Anyway, we should probably upgrade his weaponsmithy as well. And now finally, I don't want to forget about our newest addition, but we got ourselves another Steve. And this Steve, well, he's already been in a couple of fights, but he's gonna be here for the workers that live here. You know, whenever we need to transport something, he's gonna be here, so we don't need to always rely on the bull Steves who's gonna be traveling around the world anyway. Well, there's one more thing that we did. We stopped making the rum and grog for a while because we needed more food. So Darth is working on cactus pies, which surprised me because you can combine cactus and straw flour, which is exactly what we're growing over here. And he's now making cactus pies, which is really good, 50 nutrition each, so I like that a lot. I think I've introduced everything we've done in between now, so now let's focus on what exactly we have to do next. Well, mainly, I want to get those 2 extra AI cores so we can unlock Edgewalkers, and I think the closest and best option for that is Narcos Trap over here, but there's a slight problem there. You see, that's part of the Holy Nation, and if I send my people there, we're gonna get into a fight with the Holy Nation, and we're gonna get to war with the Holy Nation, and I don't want a diplomatic incident happening. Because while we might be an empire, I want to keep friends with all of the rest of the existing empires so we can go trade with them. I want to establish a trading outpost somewhere in the Holy Nation. And if I was at war with them, that really wouldn't work, now would it? So my idea was to send a human there. an ambassador, so to say, but a very stealthy ambassador, somebody who can break in without being spotted. And while we can enjoy watching this city come to life at night with all the lights and everybody just walking around, that person is getting ready. And the man, the myth, the legend that's gonna do it is Ryu the Wicked. He's up to 96 stealth with the gear he is using right now. And he's gonna be taking both of the Steves with him, Steves who are loaded with all kinds of crap we have to sell. And he's gonna bring this trade all the way to the Holy Nation. Ryu and my ambassador Steves have made it to the Holy Nation proper, where they have sold all the weapons we were carrying, and we are over 900,000 cats in the bank now. But you see, getting here, it was all just kind of a ruse. We just came here to establish that, hey, the Empire exists, we're cool people, all that. Definitely not narco-worshipping people who actually use technology and are not backwards like these bastards. Nope, that's not us, and we're totally not going to Narco's Trap next. Now this place we kinda have to approach stealthily, and even if Ryu is the ambassador to the humans of the Holy Nation, if he comes over here, they're gonna be pissed. We can't have that, so he's gonna have to sneak in during the night, when the cover of darkness is hopefully gonna keep him safe, and his stealth skills are gonna keep him safe. So we're just gonna wait here until night falls. It is now midnight, which means it's time to strike. Now Ryu's got 96 stealth, hopefully that's gonna be good enough not to get spotted by all of these guards over here, and he's got 90% chance to break through here. That's gonna allow us to happily sneak into this vault, which is where we wanna be. And this is acid rain, so thankfully he's got protection from that as well. That's another gate that he has to unlock, and then we pop in here where I assume there's gonna be some skeleton spiders waiting for us. Oh yeah, there's definitely a couple here. I'm gonna use my stealth, I'm gonna try to mostly just avoid them. I don't really want to fight them. I'm gonna pick all the research stuff I can find, of course, but mostly we are after the AI cores. And AI cores we got. I did fill his inventory with all kind of stuff, but most importantly, we got 16 ancient science books, 1 engineering research, and 2 AI cores. Basically, exactly what we needed. Let's get out of here. And the Holy Nation's got no idea what's happened here. Now that Steve's back home, we can start doing the Edgewalker research, which is gonna only take 7 hours apparently. But we also have slavers who have come to raid us once again, and they are trickling in one by one mostly. I don't think they're gonna be too much of a problem for my guards, but while we're fighting these guys, I wanted to mention one thing. As I previously said, you know, you can submit your characters for the future series and all that stuff, and of course if you're a channel member, I really appreciate that, that really helps. But also, once you submit these characters, give them a backstory. Give them a big, cool backstory, and, you know, that way it's gonna be easier for me to roleplay your character and maybe focus more on them. You know, give them their unique personality that you would want. You don't have to, but if you want to, well, that's always a bonus. There we go, the Edgewalkers are finally completed, which means that Larry can get his old job back. You know what? I'll just queue up everything we know. And same goes for Carlos, who can finally start making some really good weapons after making like a million crappy Kanasai bows. And he actually has a 20% chance to hit edge type 2. That's pretty good. Now with these guys being busy for the next million years, we can focus on our traders again, and they're gonna go out there on an adventure. Since we have a ton of money, let's spend it. We're gonna go towards Brink, and we're gonna visit the library, and we're gonna spend it all there. Now on the way there, we're also gonna stop in Venge, and we're gonna visit some of these old towers out here. We made it here barely just in time. As you can see, the dawn is breaking, which means the beams from the sky are gonna start popping, so we have to move in here quickly. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna be safe. Nope, there's a bunch of scary skeletons over here. In fact, there's a whole tower full of them. And while the town guards back at home's got some shack challengers to deal with, the Band of Bones guys, even though they might have the numbers, I'm not really worried about these dudes. I'm more worried about my traders doing their thing, because these skeletons mostly have weapons that will bleed you dry real fast if you get hit. But they also have their leaders over here. Leaders who got quite the stats and also made 2 blades. Oh, well, never mind. He just went down instantly. Well, I guess that's some free Meitu blades for us then. Since it's daytime and the beams are burning out here, we're just gonna have to wait here in safety. And in the meantime, we can break out Agnew of the skeletons. And as we break him out, he just joined us. The good guy just joined us. He's strong, but that's all there is. He's gonna need some proper training. Well, this was certainly very much worth it. We got 3 AI cores out of that, 15 ancient science books, and 1 engineering research. Definitely much more than I expected. And of course, Agnew. But now we have to wait until the nighttime, so these beams go away, and then we're gonna continue onwards to glory. In the meantime, back at home, I can happily say that we are getting our first Edge Type 1 weapons made at home. And Mommy Milka is gonna get the first hacker out of this. A nice frame axe. A weapon made by Carlos. While in the meantime, Lara Larry has already made a cracked saber and a Nudachi. And that cracked saber definitely goes to Stan. In any case, it's past midnight. Let's get out of this shithole. I think we just barely made it out just in time. I think the beam started at 5 in the morning and we're close to Brink now and it's 5:38. Lucky we didn't get hit there, but we at least made it to Brink, where we're gonna cash in the 2 skeletons we were carrying. As these 2 guys each have a 20k bounty. So United Cities, you guys can deal with them now. And after selling everything we didn't really need, we are now millionaires. Let's go to Black Scratch Library. We got to the library without any issues. Now let's see what they've got. Well, they had a lot, and I bought a lot of recipes. I left them, what, more than 500,000 here? Yeah, worth it. We're gonna now learn everything, and then we're gonna craft everything. As for my traders, we're gonna go explore a bit further down here, maybe go all the way to this factory in this ruin on the Stormgap coast. Well, we made it to the ruin. It's got a bit of a problem with acid rain over here, but hopefully we're gonna be on the roof over here. And if you look upstairs, yeah, this thing is big. It's got a bunch of security spiders, it's got a bunch of iron spiders. It's definitely not gonna be an easy fight for us. So let's see if we can get a couple of these spiders downstairs and let's see if we can shoot them. Okay, that's quite the army coming down. Maybe not all of these dudes. And there's also their foreman who's got 80 stats. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Let's see if at least we can get this guy down, because the rest of the spiders are kind of getting stuck, it seems. Yeah, I think even though he might have quite high stats, we are still stronger, and we have a rangers to constantly just knock him out. Yeah, that's gonna be good enough, boys. Besides, the poor guy was naked, but he had his Meitu staff. Let's go get them then, I guess. We should be able to hurt these guys very, very nicely. I would prefer not to go for the security spiders, though. Okay, maybe we do not have a chance, because the security spiders are going for us. This is gonna be the moment of truth. Agnew is getting completely destroyed, which I did expect to see, because poor Agnew is the weakest link here. The rest, very strong. That was real fast. Good job, guys. Oh, no, maybe it's not it. There's more incoming. Now I know why they called us the Forbidden Isle. Yeah, quite reasonable. We're gonna quickly escape upstairs so we avoid the pile of death that we have created down here. And while there's still some spiders over here, it's not the worst if we can decide who is gonna be the one actually hitting them. But in the end, this place was very much worth it. We got 1 AI core, 4 engineering research, and 4 more ancient science books. Now let's hope we can avoid all these patrolling spider groups that are still left out here, and the fact that there's acid rain here. Let's go check out this ruin. We can't really use our usual tactics of taunting things out. We're just gonna have to go in here and basically hope for the best that these spiders cannot hurt us as much as we can hurt them. Well, there's one lucky thing for us. There doesn't seem to be too many of them, so we should be, I think, just fine, because there's so many of us, we can just stagger them. And while, yeah, they do hurt, I think we can hurt them more. Morladen in the end was the only one going down. Hit to the head. I wonder why he had no head protection. It wasn't that worth it in the end. 15 science books, sure, that's good. The rest is mostly stuff we can sell. No AI cores, no engineering research. But still, the overall expedition was very much worth it. Now, let's go back home and deliver these goods. We did apparently manage to run into some big things, but you know what? If anything, that's good, because we can get some leather, because we ran out completely out of animal skins back at home, and big things ceased to be scary long time ago. I'm also going to be stopping at this way station over here in hopes of the fact that we can sell a bunch of stuff, and we did sell a bunch of stuff, but I'm also going to be buying this watchtower for 21k that we're going to now need to repair, and for that we're going to need a lot of building materials and iron plates. In fact, a lot more than these guys here can sell us. Now the reason why I'm buying this is because this gives us kind of an interesting way into the greater United Cities over here in the Great Desert. And this could be our way station slash shop. But since these guys do not have more building materials, that's something we're gonna have to fix in the future. Look at that beautiful view. We can actually see our city at the edge of the swamp. That's pretty. And Morladin is very happy to be back home. In the meantime, we got a couple of new recruits. Pain, a hive soldier, and Vitality, a shack lady, have joined us. And I'll definitely need all of these guys, Agnew included, to help me set up my next big project, which is gonna be happening in this big, beautiful new outpost we built here. And Agnew is gonna introduce you to what we started building here, which is basically a bunch of robotics benches where we can start making robotic components and skeletal muscles that we're gonna need. We're gonna start with basics. Over here, Agnew is gonna be working on making press, and Ron here is gonna be making motors. Then later on, we're gonna combine steel bars with press to make skeletal muscles over here. And then if you go upstairs, that is where the rest of the magic is gonna happen. Over here in this bench, we're gonna be making robotics components. And then, well, we have two benches, one for skeleton limbs and the other for hiver skeleton limbs, where we can actually make the limbs itself. Now, as first, we need to spend AI cores to research those. And of course, before we start making arms, we want the robotic skills to go up, so we'll actually be able to make good arms. As I also employed Grogmaster up here because Grogmaster actually has a bonus. Ratio bonus for robotics, so I'm hoping he's gonna eventually be my master roboticist.
The mastery of robotics was the final step in establishing Lapsus Lazuli as the trade capital of Kenshi. No other place combines so many expert crafters in one spot. So many different crafts, from gourmet cuisine to drugs and alcohol, from edge-type weaponsmithing to masterwork armor crafting and everything in between. But while the crafters have established themselves, the infrastructure to sell and export all these wondrous artifacts was still lacking. While the shops were being built, there was no real hospitality in place to accept guests from across the world. There were no bars, no hotels, no hospitals, not even a faction HQ. There was so much to be built still, but first, Morladin had to find more ancient research.
Now, before we actually go on an adventure, let me show what I have built overnight. As you can see, there are a couple of different houses over here. I wanted to add something different so it's not all of the same, you know, because it makes the whole street more interesting. As you can see, I have worked on this one that now has a hospital sign. It's not actually a proper hospital, but Zuter is going to show you. Basically, as you come in here, this area right here is where we're going to be selling our medkits. As you can see, everything here is all about medkits. But then in the back, this is where Zuter Device lives. He's got his bed over there, he's got his storage right here, and he's got a couple of places where he tinkers with various medicine and, you know, makes the med kits and mod packs and all that stuff that he can then sell over here if he wants to. But Zuter's also got a roommate. Kairos lives here in the upstairs area, so Kairos, let's go introduce that. As you can see, he's all about tinkering with his research, and he's got a bunch of research machines over here where in his free time he also works on research, not just in his work hours. And then in the back he's got his more personal stuff, you know, there's a bunch of like books and maps and all that stuff that he researches. There's even an AI core and a CPU unit over there, and then in the back is like his personal area. He's got a nice place to sit over here and drink and enjoy, and then there's his books and other various things, and then it's his bed. So yeah, that's Kairos' room over here. So Kairos, and Zooter Device are kind of roommates. Or at least they are, while Zooter Device doesn't work here on the electronics workbench, and of course Kairos is researching back here. Also, we got another new recruit, a Shack Lady Spokes, who for now is just training here because I am thinking maybe we're gonna make her a guard, and for that she's gonna need some more skills. Or she might be able to help with the whole robotics things where Agnew and Ron and Grogmaster are working right now. But as I said, we need more ancient research, and that's what we're gonna do. These boys are gonna go north. I'm thinking we're gonna go into Obedience, we're gonna go into Floodlands, Purple Sands, Berserker Country, the Iron Trail, all that stuff. We're gonna go and we're gonna explore. I decided to visit Hub to see if people are buying anything over here, and looks like not everybody's got enough money, and most importantly, these guys have some dust bandit issues out here. So you know what, that's I guess something we can help with. We can clear out the town so it is safer for our people to sell stuff here. Yeah, I'd say that's almost our duty to help out here. Although I would prefer if my shopkeepers did not get involved. You guys should be, well, shopkeeping. From here on out, we're gonna go north. I'm gonna try to avoid the Holy Nation lands because I don't wanna get into fight with them, you know, diplomatic insults or incidents. Yeah, don't want none of that. Now going north by avoiding the Holy Nation, that kind of means we only have two paths, so we could either go over on the beach or we could go to the Foglands. We're gonna go to the Foglands and we're gonna visit Mongrel for the very special boy that lives there. And if you have to kill a couple of fogmen to get there, well, that's how it is, I guess. There he is. We found him. Beep is here, and Beep is joining the team now, and one day Beep is gonna be the strongest warrior. But that day is not today. Today is the day where we buy a small residential building over here, and that's where Beep is gonna wait for the squad to return because they're going to a way too dangerous land for him to join us. So for now, Beep is gonna be our resident shopkeeper here at Mongrel, and eventually we can turn this shop into actually selling anything more than just a Fog Prince head. Also, ignore these two guys. And now we go onwards to glory. Don't worry, Beep, we'll be back for you. We made it to the lab in the Obedience, and we're gonna go crack this one open. I wonder what could possibly be in here. Oh look, it's more spiders. Now I'm not worried about these guys. I think we have all the damage we need now. And while the Steves might get hurt a bit, it shouldn't be too bad. In fact, Steves can't even make it up here on their own. So we'll just have to do it the good old way, and swords are gonna prevail over the skeleton muscles. Now how this Steve managed to get stuck in here, I have no idea, but it's pretty impressive. Oh wait, there's more. This Steve is stuck as well. We only found 6 ancient science books in here and a couple of things we could sell, so very crappy haul from here. Hopefully you can find something better in the Floodlands. Back at home we had a huge fight between Band of Bones, there's Dust Bandits, there's Eyebrow Clan. Lots and lots of people are raiding us right now. Even some crabs showed up, which means the dogs are having fun with all the corpses and pieces of limbs out here. And now we also have Triangle Bandits coming in who are kind of late on the party, which means they'll just get obliterated by my guards without having any like proper fun, and that's a shame for them. And that also means plenty of new recruits. We got 2 new farmers to join the forces, and then we got Jerry, Zerb, and Left Eye who's gonna get different jobs than farming. And we made it to the aptly named Floodlands with my trader group, and we're gonna have to have a little bit of a swim to get into this lab, which could be slightly unfortunate as we're gonna of course have to fight a bunch of spiders here as well. But at least Parek doesn't need to swim, he can just walk all over here and it should be fine. Not even gonna release the Steves because I just know they're gonna get stuck, and besides there doesn't seem to be that many security spiders in here, just 4 of them should be doable for us. And indeed, it was doable. Unfortunately, this tower was pretty empty as well. While we did get a couple of new ancient science books, the rest was just stuff we can sell. So from here, I think we're gonna go see what this shanty settlement is all about. It's just a skeleton shanty town, nothing to see here. But I guess we can sell them some of our stuff. Next, we're gonna hit this ruin in the Purple Sands. And this place over here usually has some engineering research for us, but it also has a bunch of cannonballs. So I guess let's have fun with these cannonballs before they can cause any issues. and we're gonna just chop them up slowly. I think they were after the Shrieking Bandits, but the Shrieking Bandits are now mostly running away. If they want to run away, that's not my problem. Let's go unlock the secrets of this place. And the secrets were exactly what we wanted. A couple more ancient science books and most importantly, 3 engineering research. We need that engineering research because we want to build bigger walls around the city. And let's leave these guys to fight each other and we're gonna go onwards to find our next legendary weapon. And there is the vault, and there are the many skeletons that we have to deal with. And while the skeletons might be many, they are not strong, which means our blades are gonna cut through them like worm mud through buttery knife or something. Okay, that sounded horrible. Ignore that I just said that. Instead, let's focus on this beautiful legendary katana, Enda. That is indeed a thing of beauty. And since Ryo the Wicked is our primary katana user in this squad, he can have it. Besides that, we found a couple more cool weapons and some more cool armor, and I realize now that we're running out of food as we are up here in the middle of nowhere, which is not good. But in general, only Keys have upgraded his Vanguard Sword Spear to Edge Type 1. He previously had like a Mark II, so that's a cool upgrade. The rest we're gonna sell. And now, even though we're running low on food, this ruin I want to go visit as well, so let's go north. There's a bunch of Shrieking Bandits swimming over there. This is a very dangerous place to swim because you have various spiders in here. Luckily these are inactive, so that's good. But at least this thing here where we are swimming is not acid, and if there's some spiders that might want to fight us, that's not too bad. But in any case, this lab here has been my goal all along, so let's go and crack it open. If you assume that there's gonna be spiders in here again, yeah, your assumption would be completely correct. As long as my rangers do not get hit, I think we should be alright. You can still see these things can do quite a lot of damage to us, even though we're strong now. But Morladin said the Empire must grow, and grow it shall. That's why we're going to battle again. Even if my Steves might starve a little bit in the process. Yeah, the Steve is getting low now. And a little bit of starvation was definitely worth it, because we found 18 ancient science books in here, 2 engineer research, and 4 AI cores, plus a bunch of other stuff we can sell. Good haul. Now let's go find some food somewhere. Ah, there we go, a bunch of innocent Garo. These are the guys we might be able to eat, just don't drop them down the mountainside, please. Steve, let's cook. It's not that much, but hopefully this nutrition is gonna keep us going until we find civilization. Or I guess until we can find some more Garo along the way and cook those as well. Now while the traders are still traveling, I wanted to show you a couple of new recruits we got back here. We got 2 more farmers, Farmer Nino and Tin, and we also got Miner Juano and Dub. These guys do not have a job yet, but as you can see from their titles, they're gonna be mining for us. They're just waiting right now for Joe to make their uniforms. We also got Zeus here, a Scorched Lander, who is making regular bolts for us, because bolts is something that we do not have, so we need it. And especially the other new recruit, Trooper, who does have a crossbow, is gonna need them. He doesn't have a job yet, he's waiting for that, and that's gonna happen soon. I also added a new mod for backpack crafting, because we are severely lacking in backpacks, so I'm gonna go unlock that. There's another thing we're also gonna do. Zuter the Wise is gonna pick up this Steve, and he's gonna load him up with this delicious pie that Dart has created for us. And then he's gonna go down here on adventure to Shark. And the reason why we're doing that is because Elo and Craxus, who are the shopkeepers here in Shark, are starving. They ran out of food, and everybody who could sell food to them in Shark is dead because of the civil war, so we have to import food in here. In the meantime, the boys have made it to Mongrel, where we're gonna be selling a bunch of stuff we have brought here. And we're also gonna buy some recipes we do not have yet. And of course, let's not forget Beep and his friends. Meep, who is the guard here, and Cortez, who's gonna come with us back home. These guys are Dead Hive soldiers. And Beep is gonna be our official shopkeeper here. Let's make sure to stock up his shop a bit more. And just to make things more interesting, we also recruited Canned Meat and Totem Pole into our squad. These guys are pretty injured and slow, so we're gonna have to carry them back home. And we're gonna leave Beep and Meep here to be the shopkeepers we need them to be, and hopefully they're gonna sell all this fun stuff for us. Zuter the Wise and Steve have made it in the meantime down to the swamps, delivering all the food so Elo and Kraxus can now eat. I think next I'm gonna send him down here to Flats Lagoon just so we can replenish the stores there as well. My new miners are getting their outfits, which means they're also getting their jobs. And Zuter and Steve have also made it down to the south to calibrating Kane and Thud. It does look like these guys still have plenty of food, but sure, let's deliver some. And in the meantime, the traders have also made it back to Lapsus Lazuli, which means it's time we start all that new research.
Everybody was hard at work at Lapsus Lazuli. New buildings were going up like mushrooms after a late summer rain, and there was a genuine excitement in the air for the future of the Empire. But with a recent surge in recruitment, many of the more menial jobs were taken over by sad new recruits, and some of the longer-standing citizens of the Empire found themselves out of work. So they petitioned Morlodin to open up new shops, to send the ambassadors out to other factions, and let them spread the good word of the Empire. Morlodin agreed, but the question remained, who and where to first?
Well, before we send anybody out there trading, I wanted to show you the new building that we have set up over here. As you can see, it's a travel shop. Well, technically it's not a shop yet, we're not really selling anything, but Left Eye here is working on making leather strips, I can see. And then these leather strips I used in combination with leather to make backpacks. Because backpacks in-game are made instantly, so with the mod that we added, you actually have to make leather strips. Those take quite a long time, and that's where the time is spent on making these backpacks, so they're not just instant and free. So far, we've made one. Aura's got it, a nice, beautiful thieves backpack. We're gonna make a couple more for my people who go out there on missions. And then we're just queuing up a bunch of wooden backpacks that gonna be used by our workers here. Now, as for the traders, I think the first thing we should go and fix is this way station over here, where we already started building stuff. And we're gonna be sending Trooper and Left Eye over there, and Steve is going to be carrying the resources, including the many building materials that we need, that we're going to need to rebuild that tower. And we're going to have Cricket, Grim, and Wu to escort them there. But here at the city, the next thing that I wanted to work on is new walls. We have basic level 2 walls back here, not good enough. We cannot upgrade these, but we can build fresh new ones that will be much bigger, taller, and stronger. Alas, that would mean that we're gonna have to start dismantling some of these walls, and that's gonna give my guards some more work to do, because we're gonna be vulnerable for a while. Well, it took me a while, but now we can test our new walls against a bunch of Black Dragon ninjas that came to attack us. And as you can see, the walls are big, tall, and sturdy. I even gave aimbots here new harpoons, so they get to shoot our own people with harpoons, which, you know, you'll love to see. But generally, the guards are positioned here. They should be able to defend us pretty nicely, and I have 2 more torches for 2 more guards that are gonna happen, or that are gonna join them. Like Spose, who's been training here for a while to get good enough. And while we were building walls back at home, the squad has also made it to the way station and finished rebuilding this tower. And there is their shop. I set this up so Left Eye is going to be selling some weapons over here, and then some medical supplies on this side. Basically everything we have crafted back at home. We also have, you know, various stuff on the shelves here, just showcasing stuff. And then in the back, this is their storage. This is where they store materials that then they sell here. And Trooper is going to be his guard. Now, this was a pain in the ass to actually place, because this tower, as you can see, is sideways. So placing everything here was kind of annoying. Now, upstairs, I haven't actually done anything yet, but I'm planning to do like a hotel over here. So a bunch of beds where people can come here and sleep as they stop at the way station. And then in the upper area is going to be where their personal place is going to be, where they're going to have their own table where they can eat, and also their beds where they can sleep. But in any case, that's their job here now. They're going to be the shopkeepers here to the tech hunters, and these guys are going to go back towards home. Back at home, I started moving our stone mining operations over here in this here corner. So this hill, as I said before, I kind of want to use it as maybe the HQ. I feel like it could be nice up over here on the hill. I just wanted to give you an update. Grogmaster actually did manage to create his first skeleton arms. Standard grade only, even though his robotics is now at 61, so I think that should be high grade now. I also employed Totem Pole to cook for us a bit, because, you know, he's a cannibal, he knows how to cook well. And while Darth is making cactus pies, Totem Pole here is going to be making some gristle flaps, combining some of the raw meat that we have and grog that we also have quite a lot. And these gristle flaps, surprisingly, got 60 nutrition, so they are pretty good. He also cooked all the Garu guts that we brought back home from north, and these are 30 nutrition as well, so it's not so bad. But up here where we were making backpacks, we unfortunately completely ran out of leather. After, I don't know how many, like 60 days or so, we are out of leather. I see there's some leather still in the workbenches here that are not operating, but yeah, otherwise we are completely out. Luckily we still have some skins, but nobody's been tanning for a while. So let's go fix that then. That means Salim can go back to making leather strips, and we can go back to making backpacks. The mines have been moved into this corner, and whenever we get new miners, they're gonna start working over here. I also built 2 extra cactus farms over here, and well, I guess the farmer's gonna go to work there soon. And as Totem Pole have cooked all the gristle flaps we could have cooked now, he started working on some wheat noodles because we have water, we have straw flour, let's go send it. Also, now that we have the Grand Gate, I was thinking that we should build something that would introduce everybody that comes to our city. And that would be just a small bar. As you can see, we are also doing some interesting research, which we're gonna put to good use later on, especially once we get to hydroponics. This is small, yes, but we can set up just a tiny little bar where people come in here, you know, through the doors, and they can sit here and enjoy themselves. And I was hoping we could also set up something on the roof, but it does seem like the roof is kind of broken. It's gonna be just a small bar. We are selling rum and grog here, basically. What we are producing right now, also some water for those weak-hearted. And Garunimo is currently gonna be our barkeep here, and he's gonna hopefully satisfy the customers. Oh, look at that! Somebody's already coming in, and they're poor. Well, get out of here and come back when you got some money then. Previously, also recruited a couple more miners. I don't even know if I shown more than just the first 2. Basically, we got 1 working over here, 2 more working over here helping Sisyphus, who is the main miner here. He is the leader of that. And there should be 1 miner, I don't know where he is right now, but working on copper. And just recently, I recruited 3 more. These guys are just waiting here because Joe hasn't actually crafted them their uniforms. But basically, those guys are gonna go over here to stone mining, and they're gonna work there. And now that that is done, we're gonna go establish a new shop, and Maccabi Scregan, who's got a really cool new Duster outfit, is gonna be the main shopkeeper. And this time around, Morladin himself is gonna go escort them. And they're gonna go establish a hospital in the Holy Nation, where we're gonna be selling advanced first aid kits and advanced splint kits. Plus, maybe we can sell some food as well. The guys have made it to Bad Teeth. Bad Teeth, who apparently has got some issues. I don't know who they're hunting, but they're hunting somebody. Hopefully this is not gonna be a civil war like it was in Shark. But in any case, they do have a small residential building over here that we're gonna buy, and we're gonna turn this into a shop. And there it is, there's our new shop. Maccabi Scregan is gonna be the shopkeeper, John Kenshi guarding here, and of course we are selling all the medical supplies and some food as well. I feel like Holy Nation is gonna need it. Of course, we also have Holy Flame here, prominently featured, but otherwise, you know, just medical supplies here. A couple of flowers, sure, why not? There's a nice fireplace in the back with some personal belongings, some food and such. And of course, 2 beds for them, with the insignia of the Holy Nation, just so there's no mistake. Of course, we appreciate the Holy Nation for what it is. Morladin is here himself, so there is no incidents, diplomatic problems, or anything like that. We are just here as peaceful shopkeepers. We are part of the Grand Trade Empire, and that's why we're here. And after establishing our 6th shop now, it's time Morladin goes back home. Although these guys do have some blueprints we don't know yet, so I'll buy them. Now back at home, I did set my new miners to be working over here in the stone mines. One of them is producing stone, 2 of them are producing building materials that we're definitely gonna need a lot more in the future. And this now allows me to figure out how I want my HQ to look. This might be a bit too big. I noticed over here there's actually a dust bandit. He's trying to break into this wall. I've never seen them just go for walls unless the gates were closed, and the gates are definitely not closed. That's a big surprise, and now everybody's just chasing that one guy. And the poor guy was just going home. Well, he's no longer going home. After that crime, no home ever for you, buddy. Only death from now on. And these dudes are going for a swim. I think I have decided on my HQ. Yeah, this is one very scuffed looking building, but it's a cool looking building compared to everything else. Look how big and beefy it is. Yeah, it might not look like a very prestigious building, but I kinda like it. Besides, Morladin said it's dope, so I will believe him. Down here on the bottom layer, we're probably gonna have a basic throne room, and then up here and up here it could be Morladin's like own rooms, maybe a dining area here and then sleeping area here. You know, be a proper leader at last. That might make sense. I did see that overnight we are actually exceeding the power produced now, finally, even though we have a look at our battery charge. So finally I've built enough lights to drain all of that, which might mean it's time we drill for oil. Overnight, these two have produced quite a decent amount of oil, which I like, and Kirderf, our new high recruit, is now turning this oil into fuel that then we're gonna store over here, and that's gonna power our generators in the future. I also tidied this thing up just so it looks a bit cooler, more like a, you know, mining camp in the middle of a town. Actually, it turns out we had enough fuel, we just didn't have enough generators. So I set up another generator house over here. But while we've been building this, there's still stuff that we need. There's still research that we require, and I think it's time we go get it. Which means that the trader squad is going out there again. And first we're gonna go for Black Scratch, see if we can buy some more recipes there, and then I think we're gonna go further down south and explore down here a bit. There's a lot of various arms that we can unlock if we had AI cores. Of course, also CPUs of very powerful enemies, but we're probably not gonna get those. And while those guys are traveling, I wanted to do something new, something different over here at Lapsus Lazuli. And no, that's not fighting starving bandits. That is a thing we do constantly. And that is set up some hydroponics for stuff like coca plants that we cannot really plant out here because the fertility is just terrible in the swamp or in the arid environment. And it's been a while since I played with the whole coca stuff that we have over here, and I see we need a coca leaf soaker, and we need to soak it in fuel. That's amazing. And then we need a cocaine dryer, which we can set up here on the roof away from prying eyes. And let's make sure this one is private. This house is private. And Farmer Tin is gonna be the one to take care of all these coca plants, all these coca leaves. And once this is growing, we're gonna soak them with fuel and then turn that soaked coca into cocaine. We actually do have some coca leaves stored already. We bought these for research purposes. But with those extra coca leaves that we now have and the fuel we got, we are soaking our first cocos. I'm sure Morladin's gonna be proud to see what we've done when he returns back home. And just like that, we got our first cocaine. I would say you love to see it, but that's probably kind of wrong, isn't it? In any case, the traders have made it almost to Black Scratch and have ran into some grass pirates who were fighting tech hunters. So I guess we're helping tech hunters now. And I wanted to see how our new recruit does. Cortez, who has joined us with Beep. Our dead hive boy is going in there and swinging a giant mace of his. Well, I guess that did not take long, huh? Anyway, Black Scratch is just around the corner, and we got 600k to spend in the library. Well, we didn't quite spend 600k, but we still got a lot of new blueprints. We left Black Scratch for the Stormgap Coast, where there is another ancient vault that we can crack open. And well, we know what awaits us in here, so let's go destroy these spiders and let's get our legendary out of here, shall we? And as always, we got a bunch of cool weapons out of this, and most importantly, Reaper's Gale. a legendary polearm, which does quite a lot of damage and it's got extra damage versus humans and animals, so this is gonna be pretty solid. And while Wu already has a mate to a heavy polearm, I think I'm gonna give it to him. Now from here on out, we're gonna go further down south, because there's plenty of ancient things we can explore out here in the Green Beach and the pits. And then we can also go down to the Ashlands. In the meantime, back at home, we are now researching hydroponic opium poppies. So Farmer Tin is not going to be the only one growing drugs here. I also wanted to show you back at home that I started working on the throne room, which for now only has a throne. That's about it. And it's got some carpet on the ground, so it's not all looking horrible like it's looking up here. But that whole thing is still, of course, work in progress. I was also thinking about what kind of shops are we gonna establish next. I think my major plan right now is to have Larva Larry, our major weaponsmith, our best weaponsmith basically, to set up his own shop in the United Cities. And then Cersei, our best armor smith, to also set up a shop somewhere in the United Cities. We're probably gonna do one shop in the Great Desert and then another shop down here, maybe in Clownsteady or Drifter's Last. And since these guys are happily producing robotics for us, I was thinking maybe setting up a robotics shop, maybe by Ron somewhere, probably in the United Cities, or maybe I was thinking even here in Black Scratch. And then we'll have a couple of our Shack also established a shop, probably in the capital of the Shack Kingdom, in Admag. So yeah, there's still quite a few shops we have to establish. Let's get to work. I was trying to prepare my next shopkeepers to go out there, but we've been constantly assaulted. We have the white eyebrow grunts here now. I should probably deal with them. Their tower is right next there. Maybe I should send my guards over there at some point. Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and let's do that. I'm gonna send them out there right now. In the meantime, we can close the front gates. I'm sure the aimbots can take care of stuff. These guys are gonna go deal with the eyebrow clan. And while those guys are traveling, I'm gonna also prepare Steve for the next shopkeeper expedition. And since we're going to the Shack Kingdom next, I think we're gonna grab all my hackers and heavy weapons. We're gonna try to sell those there. And let's maybe grab some med kits as well. We can sell those over yonder as well. And the guards have made it over to the tower. In the meantime, I don't see anybody here. Let's maybe pop inside. It's very much empty, it seems like. These guys have vacated the place. They do have a couple of captured triangle bandits and drifters in Great Rich Man, but otherwise the whole place is deserted. I don't know what happened. I guess we're gonna just steal their food and their rum, and we're gonna try to break out some of the prisoners like drifters and Great Rich Man. We're gonna ignore the triangle bandits and Black Dragon ninjas, and we're gonna call that job well done. Clearly we are the good guys. All right, we have saved everybody who we were supposed to save. Now, let's get these guys back to guarding the front gate, shall we? In the meantime, my traders have also made it to a lost armory. Now, I assume there's gonna be plenty of skeleton spiders in here. But well, at this point, we are ready to deal with them, aren't we? Especially if they come outside one by one, that would work. Us going in there could be pretty dangerous, but I feel like Steves are doing a lot of damage to them. Even though Steves might be soaking a lot of damage themselves, this should go well. Yeah, in the end, there weren't that many of them. And we had all the weapons we needed to destroy them. There wasn't that much to be found in here. The biggest thing was this Power Arm Mark III. That one is amazing, but, well, we already have all of our arms, so we can't really use it. A bunch of weapons we can sell. And Aura got herself a new chainmail shirt. This one is pretty good, so I like that find. Especially since it's proving to be kind of impossible to find our own recipes for making chainmail shirts, so the best we can do is find them. In the meantime, the guards have already made it back home and are already fighting. And I have prepared my next expedition. Zuter the Wise is gonna guide Steve and Snack plus Wingardium down to the Shacklands. Snack deserves to be a resident trader in the Shacklands. She's been with us probably since the start. And then Wingardium is gonna be her, well, guardian. Let's go then. Now my traders have made it to this beautiful settlement of the crab people. I mean, who doesn't like the crab people? I'm gonna send Morlodin in here to talk to their queen, and we're gonna establish an alliance with the crab raiders. Yeah, we might be hostile to people like skin bandits and skeleton bandits, but that's not something I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is buying some blueprints from my crab people. So if you want to, we can craft our own crab stuff. And then we continue further down south. Further down south where we did run into some scavengers who are fighting fishmen. Basically, both want to kill us, so we're gonna kill them. I'm pretty sure somebody wanted to have a fishman as their character, but I'm not quite sure if the Empire is gonna include those monstrosities as well. I mean, just look at these ugly mother truckers. This is not your good guy fisherman. Nothing good guy about these guys. There is only evil here. Worry not. We will purge said evil. And once we are done with them, then we can continue. Where lies an ancient workshop that we definitely want to raid for the potential engineering stuff that we can get out of here. And I see there's some skeletons out here. I don't know if they have harpoons. No, it does not look like they have harpoons, so this should be easy work for my soldiers. I'm just trying to pay attention to our new recruit, Cortez, to see how well he does in these fights, because, well, these guys are not weaklings. You can see 70s and 60s in stats, so more than not having a helmet might hurt him once again. But then again, we have the numbers on them and we are all glitching through walls. Back at home, the war also continues. We have a bunch of band of boners coming in a big group here trying to find us. I also wanted to show you, like, these bone dogs from the drifters have been around for so long. They are now elders. They've just been chilling out here, eating every corpse they can find. I think they got so much food, they've grown to be the biggest they could be. Not nearly as big as Boris though. Look at this giant mother trucker, how big he is compared to the rest. Oh, apparently we also have a bunch of fishmen coming out here, and they've been fighting crab raiders. Looks like there's war going on everywhere nowadays. In any case, we found 5 engineer research over here, which is pretty nice, and a couple more ancient science books, plus the rest of the stuff we can sell. Now, let's continue onwards. In the meantime, my Shek expedition has made it all the way to Admag, where we're gonna be buying this broken watchtower for 28k. And there's the shop. Snack is gonna be, of course, the shopkeeper, and here we are showcasing all kinds of weapons we're gonna be selling here, and of course some imported rum. Right here we have the medical supplies, advanced first aid kits and splint kits, and then over here we have a bunch of heavy weapons and hackers, and the same on this side. You can see more of the same over here on the shelves where we have medical supplies and of course the weapons. Back here is the storage, whatever is not on the shelves right now. And if you go upstairs is where these two guys are gonna have their private areas, you know, with their private storage, their beds. They're gonna have a place where they can sit and enjoy their imported rum and of course the imported rice stuff as well. Now all we can hope for is that Shek stop fighting out there and come shopping in here, because we can make some money over here. Now Zooter, you gonna leave these guys be? And you and Steve are gonna go home. Now my traders down south have been attacked by the Reavers, and the Crab Raiders are allies, so just passing by. They don't care about that. Well, let's be real, they don't need to care. We already took care of business. The next thing, we're gonna have to take care of these 2 armory ruins here, who's got the police bots inside. These guys have their stats in 40s, 70 strength though, so that's not so bad. But this ancient police is slightly outdated. They don't get it that the new empire has risen and they're not the big boys anymore. Morladin and his boys are the big boys now. So no matter how much you guys yell police, I don't even think these guys have anything interesting that we could loot, but we'll still check. And of course it's great training for our newest recruit, Cortez. Yeah, there was nothing of use in any of these 2. So I guess we're just gonna continue onwards then. Down into the crags where we do have an old outpost that should have some more interesting stuff in there. And a bunch of skeleton bandits that are trying to have a way with us, but in the end we're gonna have a way with them. These guys have their stats in 40s and 50s, so definitely not as strong as they could be. So I'll just say, more good training for Cortez then. These guys do get bonus points for their cool skeleton mask they're using, but that's about it. As for the outpost itself, it's got this big boy. He, I believe, has got a very good weapon and he's got very, very good stats. But then again, he is alone over here. Well, he did have a little skelly security spider boy friend, and well, that thing's dead. He did manage to take Cortez down, chopped his head, but I think he's not gonna be able to chop all of us because there's just too many of us. We're gonna stagger them. And then we're gonna take his beautiful axe. Oh, and it is beautiful indeed. He also has got an AI core in him. That's really nice. Now, since we did sustain some injuries, we're gonna use the fact that we can use these beds over here, and we're gonna go and heal. The loot in this place also gave us a bunch of weapons we can sell, a couple of limbs, and most importantly, these ancient nutri rations that are 125 nutrition. These are gonna be very, very useful. Now, while the boys were resting overnight, I set up a new shop back at home under the guise of this being just another innocent bar where you can go down here and, you know, drink rum and grog. We actually have set up opium hydroponics over here, and we're gonna be turning stuff into opium here whenever I can get this building to work properly, because right now after reloading I can't get anybody inside. So that's kind of broken, but I'm gonna fix it. In the meantime, Zooter the Wise have almost made it back home, just being hunted by a swamp ninja. I'm just gonna take care of that guy, and then he's gonna move back home. Can't have those guys causing issues now, can we? Farmer Tin has actually produced quite a lot of cocaine for us already. I wonder if anybody would want to purchase that. Well, we're gonna go and we're gonna sell it at the bar, and we're gonna see if anybody buys it. It is 3k each, so probably not gonna be selling as fast because these guys don't even have money to buy rum. My traders though, they are healed, which means we can go onwards and we continue with our road down south, and my goal is to hit the Ashlands next and explore that. We have at last made it to the most dangerous place in Kenshi, and we're gonna be cracking open this Ash Dome number 1. Is this gonna be dangerous? Oh yes. Potentially very dangerous. There's gonna be some scary skeletons in here. Well, maybe not that scary. Their stats aren't as good, but there should be one powerful leader here. Oh yeah, there he is. Head of Agriculture. He's got 179 dexterity. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. That's not gonna stop us though. Who is he fighting? I can't even tell. I think at this point, everybody, if you can get him, we'll be able to research how to make his arms ourselves, which, let's be real, could be pretty good. Oh, and he's already down. Let's go. Taking his CPU unit, it's gonna kill him, but that's what we gotta do. And as you can see back home, we can then research arms of agriculture, which is gonna give us basically his arms, which we can also loot off of him. As you can see, it gives you plus 39% for crossbows, plus 60% for dex, and some unarmed damage. Yeah, I'd say these are quite overpowered, but I bet my rangers would appreciate them. And looting the rest of this place also gave us another AI core, 7 ancient science books, and 2 more engineer research. But that is not the only Ashland Dome we're hitting. Let's see what kind of secrets this one is hiding. Well, I guess you will never learn the secrets because my puppy distracted me and we just killed everything in here, including General Yang, who had some really incredibly powerful arms. But now we've got them, plus 50% dex, plus 50% strength. And of course we got his CPU as well. Plus we found a couple more AI cores and a couple of other weapons we can sell. But anyway, that is not the last Ashlands Dome we're gonna visit. We're gonna go a bit further south and then swing back to this dome. Sato was lost in the Ashlands, going down here, and I see my moronic Yamze is pulling a cleanser unit. Well, I guess we're gonna be fighting this monstrosity now. Shouldn't be a problem, right? It's not like it's big as a mountain. Good thing these skeletons are all ignoring us. Well, I guess they're no longer all ignoring us. Fine. Go after them, see if we can destroy these dudes. And of course, the poor Steves are going down already. Well, this thing's got a lot of HP, but we're bleeding it slowly, while the spiders are also flying in the air. The problem is this thing's got a lot of AoE potential, so it can hurt all of us as it's hurting us. Cortez, maybe you shouldn't be the one fighting this, because you're not really the strongest. No, he disagrees with me and he's down. Barry is also down, and the rest of the spiders are coming back up to fight. Usually you'd really want like 2-3 people fighting this thing at the same time, so just to avoid AoE hits. Basically the same as with big things, but I guess my people don't care about that, and now Morladin is also down. Let's just say that the fight isn't going as well as you'd hope, especially since we do have this dome that we have to go after right after this battle. And I know that dome's got some really nasty enemies in there as well that's gonna hurt us. And where the hell did he fly off to? Well, I think that guy is now gone forever. I would like to find that cleanser unit because I'm pretty sure they've got AI cores in there. Oh, there it is. Let's go check it out. Oh yes, they have an AI core plus a bunch of other stuff. Well, we do have a lot of people quite hurting now. I don't think we should go in here. Maybe we're gonna rest in the shadow of this dome, and we're gonna pop in here when the time is right. Back at home, we also have slave traders here in the meantime. I don't know exactly what these guys are expecting to do, but I think they're gonna run away. They are scared. Yeah, best to stick with the nomad camps. That's right. Run, you fools. We're also gonna start some new types of farming. We got desert cinnamon, and I bought enough to build 2 small farms. I think we're gonna set it up back here behind the bar, or I guess next to the bar, and behind the illegal cocoa production. There was a hive trade caravan that brought all the cinnamon, so I'm gonna just drop it in the ground and the boys shall build it. A good thing we got some dust bandits also coming in here. We'll be able to recruit them as more farmers, because I guess we're gonna need more farmers. My traders resting didn't also quite work out because we have a bunch of skeleton legionnaires coming right at us, so we're gonna have to fight for our lives. Or I guess fight for our right to sleep and rest. But let's be real, that was kind of to be expected since we didn't have a place where we could stay indoors. And I see Cortez went down once again. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Look at what this guy is using. I don't think I've ever seen the skeletons use the Iron Spider arms. That's kind of cool. These gas clouds are also not helping the situation. That's a shit move, you gas cloud. I like it how all these skeletons are just squatting up on us. No real reason, they're just following leader. You guys are confused slightly, aren't you? Well, good thing we were so sneaky. They will never see us. I think this guy might be their leader, because he's aimless, he's just lying on the ground, his leg is broken. Let's go put them out of their misery, please. Anyway, while everybody's resting, I'm just gonna check in here. There's the police officers probably. Oh, General Hat, that's their leader. 210 strength, 106 dex. It's probably pretty strong. Not again! It looks like there's a cloud spawning right in here, and it's hurting everybody. You know what? I hate to do it. Everybody's got chest injuries because of that crappy cloud. Oh, I just wanted to go crack open this dome. Why is everything attacking me now? Okay, he's moving away. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try to get the big boy out since he is right here. Peric, you got taunt. Bring him out. If anybody else follows, that's okay. Let's see how this is gonna go. We're going for the big boy. I don't even know where he is in this whole mess, but he definitely didn't get all of his police officers with him out, so I'll take that as a good thing. Oh, and he's already down. Well, never mind. I was looking, where is he fighting? But yeah, it looks like we destroyed his stomach. That went definitely much better than expected. Now let's finish off these police officers and then we can go deal with whoever is inside. As for you, you see Parik wants your Meitu blade. And we're also going to take your AI core and your CPU so we can research it. Oh, let's not forget his very strong arms. Plus 60% strength, plus 20% dex. These guys are decently strong as well, but there's not that many of them. And that's our bonus. Hopefully the big boy doesn't come back because we don't really want to fight him right now. These guys probably do have some solid weapons as well. And we're all going inside now. Is that how it is? You know what? This is fine. Let's go chase these guys down then. I don't know how many captains there are left, but there's probably not that many since we did pull half of them out at least. And Parik with his new Meitu blade, he is the tank we needed and we wanted. Poor Cortez did go down, but you know, he's gonna level up his toughness if nothing else. Now, let's go loot this place. Well, my looting has been interrupted because these guys are all coming back up. But we did find 2 more AI cores and some more books and engineering research. But I'm leaving most of the weapons and such behind because we don't really need them and, you know, we could sell them, but we don't need the money. And our shops are already full of good weapons that we are making ourselves. Well, with that mess dealt with, let's go for this last final Ashlands dome. Please do try to avoid the clouds though. And then let's see who we got inside. There he is, Rhinobot with his 205 strength. This guy's gonna be fun as well. Ah, great. We have been ambushed in the meantime, though. Parik, go help out the rangers, because apparently these guys are going after them. And you two, shoot the other rangers. Really not necessary that you guys are causing issues right now. We're trying to kill your leaders. I don't know what you don't understand. Morladin had a great plan. Well, now Morladin is also down due to not wearing any head protection. I wonder if he's ever gonna invest in that. Because it's not looking very good for him, is it? Him and poor Cortez, who cannot wear a helmet, are the only ones down. But oh well, we can definitely defeat these legionnaires before we go in there. But this tells me it's definitely about time we get out of this unholy place. Now let's do what I wanted to do before I was so rudely interrupted. And that is use Parik to invite Rhinobot for a picnic outside. Alright, let's see how this goes. Good block there by Parik, and we're already dealing damage to the big boy. And now the rest of the guys are also gonna join in for beating up the smaller boys. As long as we can beat up the big boy, I think we're gonna be good. And I definitely won his blade. There you go. The guys are helping with the little screamers. Rhinobot is still up and running. His strength isn't really gonna be such a big bonus for the blade he's using, especially when Steve is going after him. I mean, I don't think he stands a chance, no matter how strong he is. Aura, let's take his CPU, AI core, and his Meitu Topper. In Cricket, you can get the Meitu Topper to combine with your Meitu Guardless Katana. You love to see it. Also, what you love to see is more of the Skeleton Legionnaires coming to help. Lots and lots of oil has been spilled on this day, but luckily, not really our blood. Even our glorious leader is still up and running. Maybe because he's staying in the back. That's kind of a smart idea, to be honest. Now, let's all move inside to safety. And if any more of these guys remain, they will not remain for long. There was a distinct lack of ancient stuff over here. No science books at all. But we have now done what we came here to do, so it's time to go back home. Well, the traders are finally coming back home. Not much has changed since they left. We do have these new desert cinnamon farms over here that are both still very small. We do have a couple new recruits. Doc Brown is the one who is helping Farmer Tin with the whole cocaine production now. I also have Farmer Elvin, who isn't really working right now, but he also works in the hydroponic cocoa plants. And he is the one taking care of these desert cinnamon farms. Oh yeah, and the miners back here, they've got like a little canteen set up where they can go and they can just rest and recuperate, drink some locally produced drinks and eat some locally produced food. And that's where they chill. It is just a tiny shack, but you know, hopefully it's gonna be like a local bar for these guys over here. In any case, the traders have brought back some Southern Hive boys who might eventually join us. But most importantly, they brought back AI cores and other stuff that we can research now. Pretty much filled up the whole research bench. And now we can unlock all of those special arms. Apparently, we also have some Black Dragon Ninjas in here again. I don't know where these guys came from, but I know where we're gonna send them. Back home, in a body bag. In any case, while Kairos researches all the new stuff we told him to research, and while my guards do what needs to be done, let's go and make sure that Morladin's throne room is set up properly. Well, it took a while, but it's now done. Morladin has his own home. Down below, where we have a couple of these dudes just walking with their dogs for some reason, this is kind of our throne room now. People can come here, sit, and watch as Morland's got these speeches done. I don't know what kind of speeches, but definitely got speeches. There's some stuff in the back over here, you know, where you can sit down, you can eat and drink. It's more personal stuff for Morlandin. And after we deal with a bunch of these starving bandits that the whole town had to come fight, apparently, then maybe Morlandin's gonna allow me to show you the rest of the stuff. So this is the upstairs. This is kind of like the planning room. We got the whole map of the whole world over here. People can sit around and, you know, plan as this. And then there's some food and drinks over here. We are actually storing some food that people are cooking nearby right here. And back here is the more interesting part. It's gonna kind of like a secret door vibe, and this is where Morladin's got like a full stash of cats, lots of money, and then lots of technological stuff. You can see we got a bunch of AI cores and CPU units and all that kind of stuff, kind of secret over here. And then if you go further upstairs, this is where Morlandin's private quarters are. This is his private dining area where he would host, you know, special friends that he would be able to talk to about stuff. He's got a lot of books going around here. And then this is his bedroom, you know, it's simplistic, nothing special. It's got a nice double bed over here. This is his planning table. As you can see, he's just planning stuff over here. He's got like a small map, a bunch of parchments, some local produced rum, and then, you know, more books and scrolls and such. There's his wardrobes, there's his safe, and then back here it's like his primary storage. You can see he's storing everything here. It's kind of a hoarder apparently, but yeah, he's got all kinds of storage over here from his travels across the world. And yeah, that's the HQ. I do see one of the thieves is trying to come upstairs because his job is to bodyguard Morlandin. He's not doing a very good job at it, is it? Oh wait, no, he's coming up here now. Oh, Steve, my boy. I think this is the oldest Steve we've got. Look, he's an elder. He's got all the stats. And he's just chilling in Morlandin's bedroom now. Now, that isn't the only thing that I've done in between. We upgraded both of these desert cinnamon farms now to M. And I think soon we'll be able to upgrade them to L as well. And where Pickle and a bunch of other dudes are chilling right now. This is incomplete still, but this is going to be our cinnamon grounding station. We are not grounding anything yet because we do not have enough cinnamon, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you do with ground desert cinnamon, but I believe it's like a part of cooking stuff, so I left this open so we can maybe build like a small kitchen here. And speaking of kitchens, Grace got herself a new job, and that's cooking pita bread over here. Grace, could you please come back? There you go back to work there. So she's got like a small cooking stove over there, and lots of rice wheat because apparently we had a lot of that, and she's already made some bread for us. And this is where, you know, the farmers and such can come here, sit here, eat, relax, you know, and chill. And then upstairs I haven't done yet anything, but this is going to be basically Grace's bedroom, and then somebody else is going to live upstairs as well. Now, Grace's old job was taken by one of the new recruits, which is Mealworm, who is a Southern Hive prince, and he went to work on producing steel bars for us. He's not the only Southern Hive recruit, as you can imagine. We got Frog, a soldier here, and also Habibi, another soldier. These guys don't have official jobs yet, but I'm sure we're gonna find something for them pretty fast. They're not the only recruits. We also have a Greenlander, Corey Phoenix over here, who, as you can see, started producing some cactus rum for us. We are making rum again. We're gonna be brewing that and selling that because all of that has been sold. We still have some grog to sell, and since we have plenty of cactus, I built like a small chill area over here with some tents, and we are storing more cactus back here that we can then turn into rum. You know what, since we also said we had plenty of rice wheat, how about we start making some sake? And my boy Frog, he's on it. We got some barrels in the back over here. We have the shop counter, we're gonna sell it, and of course here we have the place where people can sit and drink, and as you can see, there's already some sake on the table for the customers. Now with that done, I'm gonna take my traders and we're gonna go on a short mission. You see, we've been out of leather for a while now, and out of animal skins, which means we cannot produce any more of our backpacks. So I'm gonna send these guys out somewhere over here, and we're gonna go find some big things to find, to kill, and to skin. There they are. That's a beautiful nest. This nest has been a pain in the ass for us every time we were going down to Flats Lagoon in the past, so it's about time we clear it out and get rid of these dudes. Although I do see Cortez does not agree with me and he's already down, but so are the big things. Yeah, I would say this was worth it. There's also a lot of big things eggs over here. We can make an omelet. Although apparently Black Dragon Ninjas disagree with me. They wanted those eggs themselves, but you know what? You guys did not defeat the big things, so These eggs are ours, and you are not stopping us. I'm gonna sell some of the eggs at the smuggler's bar. And since the rest of the night did not really yield any more big things to hunt, we're just gonna finish these couple off, and then we're gonna go back home with the skins we got. You know what? At this point, I do not care if my people get hurt in the AoE. It's just toughness training for them, so it's all good. Now let's deliver these skins in here, and my leather workers can get back to work. And with all the meat we brought back from those big things, I told Totem Pole to start making some meatballs. These are 40 nutrition. For just 2 raw meat, that's really good. Yeah, they totally look delicious.
Lapsus Lazuli has become the greatest city in all of Kenshi. Everything that could be produced was produced to fuel the many trade routes emanating out of the metropolis. It became a safe city, a pleasant city to live in, which was something that could not be said of any other place in the vast deserts of Kenshi. Alas, there were still a couple of pieces missing before Morladin would consider it complete, and there were still more trade deals to be struck with the powers outside of reach of the Grand Trade Empire. But first, Lapsus Lazuli needed a new district.
And well, this district isn't going to be anything special. We just extended our fences over here a bit, and as you can see, we have a couple of hive buildings over here. A nice big hive dome, and then we have a couple of smaller shacks. Look, we have quite a lot of hivers in here. I think they need representation of their own culture. I think having a small hive village kind of works. We also have Miner Dvet, who used to be mining stone, or turning stone into building materials, I don't remember. Now he's mining copper over here because there's a copper resource. And the reason why we are stockpiling copper over here is because in this shack, Habibi is going to be turning copper and iron plates into some copper alloy plates. So he's got himself a new job. Also, now that we have leather again, we are stockpiling on some new wooden backpacks. And I'm mostly planning to give these to my farmers so they can stockpile the resources a bit better. Now with that done, I think the next thing we gotta work on is getting more trade set up. All my shopkeepers are living a good life, besides Beep and Meep, who kind of ran out of food. Luckily, they are hivers, so they don't eat that much. And luckily, there's still plenty of food to be bought here at Mongrel. Hopefully, they're also gonna manage to sell more stuff, although I do doubt that they will ever sell those Fogbrain's head. But maybe, sir, you could buy at least some weapons or something. It doesn't look like you've got a good enough weapon. Well, I guess we have to wait for daytime before anybody decides to go shopping. So we're gonna be taking Cersei to set up her own shop in the United Cities, our best armor crafter, and Steve's are gonna be taking all the various armor she has crafted along the way. With her, we're gonna take Spurious Machine, a skelly bro who has been with us since the very start, and he's gonna be going there to protect Cersei, be her bodyguard. And then of course Morladin and Rio the Wicked are gonna be the ones escorting these guys down south where they're going. I think we're gonna go either to Clownsteady or maybe even down here to Drifter's Last. So let's get going. In the meantime, back at home, both of our desert cinnamon farms have now been upgraded to XL. So I wanted to see what exactly we can do with this ground desert cinnamon that we still have, well, a little bit saved. Carlos, who is not working on his weaponsmithy, is gonna test this out for us. And yeah, looking at this, we can actually do quite a lot of stuff with cinnamon. Basically just add it to other various foods that we might have created. And since we have a ton of rice bread stored, yeah, really a ton of rice bread, I think that's what we're gonna be cooking over here once Carlos can produce some more. Not that we really need more food, but you know, variety is the spice of life. And who doesn't like cinnamon bread? Oh shit, Shinobi came in here and bought a bunch of my cocaine. I just noticed that. This dude bought like 5 packs or something like that. That was pretty nice. In fact, they are selling cocaine back to me now. They also have some blood rum, but nice. Good thing, Shinobi, that you're here. Now my travelers got kind of screwed because Spurious Machine decided that going for a swim would be a great idea. And Cersei got hit in the leg by a bunch of blood spiders. Yeah, this is definitely the shortest way to go down south. Thank you, Spurious Machine. Really appreciate that. Cersei didn't need her leg anyway. Luckily, Rio can splint her, so we're not gonna be too slowed down. It's still slightly annoying now that I need to do some island hopping, just to get back on the solid ground. But in any case, we should be able to make it down to Clown Steady before the day's end. Well, the only thing Clown Steady is selling is this giant residential building or this giant residential tower. I'm not sure if I want any of these big ones, so I'm gonna continue my way further down to Drifter's Last, just to see if those guys got anything that I would prefer. Well, Drifter's Last is even worse. They're not selling any houses at all. They are having a fight with rebel farmers though. You know what? This is not the peaceful place that I want. We're gonna continue looking. We got options. Maybe we go to Catan or Morn. Meanwhile, back at home, we did get our first pieces of cinnamon rice bread. 40 nutrition compared to I think 25 just from rice bread. That's quite a good combo, I'd say. Food variety around here is off the charts now. And speaking of food, Totem Pole is back on creating wheat noodles. We ran out of actual raw meat pretty fast. Even though he did create quite a lot of meatballs. These are 40 nutrition as well, so pretty nice. By the way, I did set our good old Inercia Gutierrez to work on these breads. She's got a lot of cooking experience, up to 84 already. She and Snow usually work on these here, rice bread and rice noodles. But we're pretty good at using our rice wheat now, especially since Frog started creating sake for us, which hopefully we are selling some. So basically what I'm saying is that Inertia has got time to work on the cinnamon bread as well as the noodles. Now let's see what Catan can offer to us. Oh yeah, there's a couple of smaller residential buildings. Yeah, I think we're gonna take one of these. We even have an option for this outpost, but I don't think we want to go that big. I think we're gonna set up right next to the Catan Scrap Masters. Just need to kick out the previous residents. The dude named Soap. Perfect name, buddy. I doubt you use it on a regular basis, but hey, it's a good name. And there it is. Our new shop is done and dusted and properly set up. Let's take a look inside, shall we? We have Spurious Machine just guarding the entrance over here, and of course Cersei is being the shopkeep. Now, as you can see, we have a bunch of armor pieces up here on the counter so people know what we're selling, and then we have a bunch of like storage stuff in the background so we can just actually store stuff that we bring over here, like, well, the food that we're not selling that we're eating ourselves. As for what we are selling, there's the chest pieces in this counter, there's the leg pieces in this counter, and then we have the head pieces and the boots in this counter. So plenty to sell to people if they want to buy. And then upstairs, it's mostly just a place where these guys can sleep. I was, looking at the neighbors, see how these guys set it up. Not very well, let's just say. We set it up better. We do have some storage, like they do, and we do have the beds, like they do, and we do have a table and chairs to eat. Unfortunately, it's kind of bugging out, so I couldn't really place any clutter down, and I could barely place these chests in the back over here, because it wouldn't let me place anything on this side for some reason. It's, it's Kenshi, it's how it is. In any case, Cersei and Spurious Machine now got work to do, and these guys are gonna go home. Travelers, I made it back home and I once again forgot to sell the big thing eggs that we had. Oh well, I guess it happens. Maybe we can slot it over here. Geronimo's got a pet bone dog who's, I guess, stuck over here. Been stuck for a while. Can we throw him out of the bar, please? As the spirit. Doggo, get back up. You really do not need to be unconscious. There you go. That's the spirit. Anyway, in the meantime, we have built a new snail house over here. As you can see, it's got a really cool look, I think. And for now, it is completely empty. But I was thinking this could be our hotel. Upstairs we could have like a living area where we could have people sleep, rent beds and such, and down here could be a bar. Basically how it is usually set up in other cities. Because let's be real, Geronimo's bar, it's a bit small, not really what you would want for the whole city. All of my farmers also have proper backpacks now, as you can see, so they can carry more stuff, which I guess they refuse to wear in their pretty big backpacks, which means that Jerry has crafted all the backpacks I told him to craft. But since we now do have extra leather, and wow, we have quite a lot of leather strips, apparently we're not stockpiling them. You know what, I'll craft some more of these. And I decided I'm gonna give my miners their own special backpacks as well, and I think these barrels, very, very fitting. Somehow we have starving bandits inside of our town. No idea how they got in. They're coming up here. Is there a hole in my fence somewhere? Because I see them swimming through. I thought this should be fine. Let's send a miner outside. No, he's going up there for the door. How did these guys come in? Well, that's definitely a surprise that I did not see coming. We can't go through here, they can go through here. They must have glitched through by swimming somehow. No idea exactly how, but they've done it. In any case, this is not gonna end well for them, but it's a perfect time to show you the next building that I've set up, which is the police. This is where our guards are gonna have their, well, basically barracks. I haven't done anything on the inside yet. We just built this, put the sign up, and that's it for now. And back here, I also set up like a small power station. Most of this is just decorative. These don't really do anything because we are not mining for carbon. Of course, we get power from these, but we already built these before. And then on the inside here, we just have a couple of batteries that are working. The rest is not even working. We could fuel these generators, and eventually, I guess we will. Also, this is a private place. I put the sign up, so nobody's allowed in. In any case, from those starving bandits, little but blood spatters remain. I think most of them will be dragged by Wu into the corpse furnace. Not much will remain of them. And they're also too weak for us to recruit. We don't really need them as it is. But what we do need, I believe, is to set up a new shop. And I'm thinking we go with our roboticists, Ron, and maybe Grogmaster. Grogmaster, I think, has got the strongest skill in that. Of course, Morladin is gonna be the one escorting them. He is the ambassador to other factions as well as the leader, so he's gonna go do that. And then Steve is bringing with him all the good stuff, all the various legs and arms and robotic components and motors and skeleton repair kits, basically all that kind of stuff that you would want in a robotic shop. Actually forgot, we got some extra skeleton muscles as well we can grab. And we're gonna go and we're gonna sell this to the tech hunters all the way back here at Black Scratch, which also gives Morladin an opportunity to visit the Grand Library once again, which is definitely something that I wanted to do for a while now. Oh, and I see Agnew is taking care of bandits. He actually ran all the way around to fight the bandits over here. That's an interesting choice, Agnew. I did not see that one coming. I wonder if these aimbots are gonna hit these guys over here at all. I'm guessing he went out here because the aimbots are shooting at these guys over here, and these guys were trying to go for the aimbots as well. Oh, I can't imagine this is gonna end well for anybody, but you know what, Agnew? He's doing quite well. He's skilling up. It does help that he has got a May 2 staff and is destroying with us. Get yourself back inside, you silly Billy. Oh, looks like my travelers in the meantime also ran into a big group of those bandits. I'm sure that Morladin and Steve should be able to protect them. They are strong enough themselves. Even if Grogmaster and Ron are not the strongest. But you know what? Yeah, Ron is strong as well. These guys are not touching him. And Grogmaster has been fighting with us for a while as well. So, yeah, the Rangers might stun my boys. But then my boys are gonna get in there. And these guys will stand no chance. Oh, now we also have Black Dragon Ninjas. These guys are stronger. But I still think that the 4 travelers should be able to account for themselves quite nicely. Especially with Steve in hand. Look at him do damage. Oh, he can destroy these poor ninjas. Yeah, okay, that was a job well done, boys. We're also going to be visiting Left Eye and Trooper over here in this way station just to see how well they're doing. Well, for now, they're still alive. The sales are not doing too well, I would say. And they still have a decent amount of food, so they should be fine. No worries then. Let's continue on our way to Black Scratch. Well, it is a small shop, but it is our shop. Over here at Black Scratch, we set up a corner store right next to the gates. As you can see, Ron is being the shopkeeper, and Grogmaster is working here on this robotics bench. It's clear to see what these guys are selling. So we have this shop counter where we have the legs and the arms. And then we have this counter where we have the motors, the skeleton muscles, the robotic components, the skeleton repair kits, and a generator core. Back here, there's a bed for Ron if he needs to sleep, and a safe where they're gonna, you know, put all their money that they're gonna earn. And of course they got some food here, mostly for Ron. I don't think Grogmaster's gonna eat any of that. But in any case, this gives us access to the great library. Let's go shop. Well, we didn't spend that much money today, but we did get a couple of good things. Unfortunately though, still no chainmail or blackened chainmail that I really wanted. But at least now we have agents in the city, so they can go check every day and we can eventually buy that. Back at home, our cinnamon bread production is going cray-cray. We got a lot of it now. And in fact, we have more desert cinnamon that we can actually use. We've now also made backpacks for all of my miners. So now we're gonna make a couple of other backpacks just for our regular people. I also set up this tower over here, right next to the high village and right next to this section. And this mostly is our skeleton tower, is what I decided to call it. Basically, as you can see, we have skeleton repair beds over here, so people can repair, or I guess skeletons can repair. Lots of like skeleton spider pieces just for decoration, as you can see, and a couple of these rack and research benches, also mostly for decoration. And up here, more pieces like that, and a couple of camp beds. If anybody wants to rest over here from regular people, they can do so. I also see Frog's been doing some really good work. Look at how much sake we got to sell now. And same for Corey Phoenix. We got lots of rum, still some grog as well, and a lot of cocaine apparently. And so now Garunamo's gonna have a lot of stuff to sell here. And same for Zuter. I put some more stuff in the hospital. Although to be honest, this is not a hospital. This is more like a pharmacy. And we are treating wounds with cocaine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm thinking since we are building a hotel here, and police over there, we could slot in a hospital, maybe like here or here as well. And for a hospital, I was thinking maybe we go for something like an outpost here. And I'm also going to be building an old house over here to just finish this housing row. I also set up a small, like a mercenary camp over here. Yamze is utilizing that apparently, and so is Boris Morris right now. You know, this is for all the drifters that are just traveling around. They can sit over here, you know, next to the campfire, rest, relax, recuperate if they want to. You know, they might not have enough money to actually go into the hotel that has not been built yet. So I guess having money is besides the point then. But I guess not everybody agrees that this should be a peaceful area for rest and recuperation. The White Eyebrow clan has come again, and yeah, they'll be out soon. Oh, we also have our new backpacks. Zuter is looking really cool with this one, and it's also decently big. So I gave these backpacks, or at least a couple of them, to my guards as well, but now we are once again out of leather and out of animal skins. And since Morlin is coming back home, maybe we could go hunt some big things again. I don't know if you're gonna be able to find any beakers around here, but we'll definitely look, and otherwise we're gonna make our way to Gut. That's where there's always plenty of big things. Now while the boys are traveling, I finally set up our police station. Milka, show it. So I tried to set it up just the way we see it in the United Cities, you know, as you have this entrance and then you have the shop counter where there's gonna be dudes standing who you can give whoever the bounty is to them. And then we have a couple of tables over here where these guys can, you know, my guards can chill when they're off duty, a couple of beds for them in the back, and then some storage here and here. As you can see. And then upstairs is gonna be the official prison. This is where we're gonna put people into prison, and then in the back there's a couple of basic training dummies for my guards, you know, so they can sharpen their skills. And there's also, you know, some more food and drinks for them. Just basically basic police stuff. I didn't want to do anything too complicated or too weird. I really like the way this turned out to be, so this is the sound of the police. Now, awesomely, my travelers also just got attacked by... Who did we get attacked by? Dust Bandits? But what was even better is what happened to Cricket. There's, well, actually to everybody. We had an invisible beam go through us while we were not even avenged. Love that, to be honest. So I guess now these guys, instead of hunting big things, they're gonna have to get some rest, probably. Good thing we can set up over here this way station. Oh, and on the way there, we did find one big thing. Hey, that's exactly what we needed, right? So while my travelers are resting, I finally managed to set up our bar/hotel. Look at that sign. That looks awesome. In any case, I tried to make it look like the rest of the bars out there. As you can see, we already have visitors coming in, which is really nice, but up front, we have, you know, just a couple of sitting benches, sitting pillows as you would, some storage over here, and then this is the entrance proper. Hunger has been decided to be the barkeep, and as you can see, he is keeping his bar full. He's got a bunch of stuff in the back over here, you know, there's some storage here, and let's see what he's selling. We got rum, grog, sake, and cocaine in this one here, and then on this side is food. We got rice noodles, we got wheat noodles, we got cinnamon rice bread, we got basic bread somewhere, there it is, rice bread, and we also have cactus pies. So variety in food and drinks, and there's plenty of places where people can sit. As you can see, the tables are full of drinks and food, and then this area over here is more like a bunch of sitting pillows next to some fireplaces over there, you know, where people can just sit on the ground and enjoy the warmth of these fireplaces. And then if you go upstairs, there's just a table, you know, in the middle where people can sit. The rest is in darkness because, well, these are places where people can sleep. They have a little bit of privacy, not too much, you know, let's be real, this is not a very private area, but at least a bit of privacy where they can sleep. And then there's just more storage out here. I gotta say, I'm happy how this turned out. As I said, I tried to make it look like other bars around, and I feel like I kind of got the vibe with all the extra food that we've got. I also prepared the hiver homes for my hivers, so mealworm, let's show this. As you can see, they got hiver furniture, they got a special hiver hammocks over here, a little bit of privacy, they got a bunch of these glow plants for some nice ambience, and well, there's the hiver tables, which look nasty. There's the hiver storage, which also looks nasty. Everything here looks nasty, but you know what? If these guys like it, who am I to judge them, right? And now that the morning's here, we're gonna say goodbye to Left Eye and Trooper, who made sure that we are well rested. We're gonna go hunt some big things in Gut. Oh, I already see a nest there. Let's go. This should be a good battle for us. I'm sure the beaker's not gonna hurt us. Also, since we are now over 3 hours into this video, I just wanted to say thank you. If you made it this far, you are the greatest, the awesomest, the best. And if you're submitting a character for the future series, just so we know that you made it here and you heard this, make sure to add somewhere Steve told me to make this character. Because let's be real, these Steves are the best. But wait, there's more. When it comes to big things, there is always more, especially out here in Gut. If you use Stronger Group Combat mod, which we are not using over here, you also get Elder Big Things in here. And those things are very, very scary. You have to be very, very careful around them. But these little ones, they are mostly just adults and a couple of children. Nothing to be afraid of. In any case, Steve inventories are full of good stuff. Let's go back home. Steves have delivered all the skins, and in the end it was like 180 of them. That's a lot of skins, to be honest. Worth it. Of course, we also have plenty of foul raw meat to feed my animals, and of course also the not so foul raw meat, so Totem Pole can go back to making us meatballs. Next big project is complete. The hospital is set up. Let's go check it out then. Boris Morris is gonna be our resident doctor over here, and he awaits you as you come in here. There's the waiting room, you know, just a couple of benches and such. And then you come over here, which is like a checking room. We have a bunch of medical supplies over here, and this is where Boris would do like a preliminary check, you know, just look you over. In the back we have a bunch of storage stuff for medical supplies, and of course a medical workbench where Boris can make more of that stuff. And then upstairs is the medical facility proper. We have our storage right there, and then there's the beds. We don't have that much space. This place isn't really made for space, but you know, a little bit of privacy between these beds as he goes and checks them up. And then we have like a special corridor going back here that nobody's really allowed to go to, and that leads you to a pillar machine. Something that only Boris and Morladin and maybe Zuter the Wise know about, and if we need to peel some potatoes, we can use that. But peeling the potatoes is not what we're gonna be doing right now. Right now, I think it's time we set up our final shop, the final trade route. And it's gonna be deep in the Grey Desert. Yes, indeed, it is time for Lyra Larry's weapon shop. We're gonna set that up next. Let's fill Steve up with all the best edge type weapons that we have crafted. Morladin, of course, is gonna be the one that's gonna escort them into the Great Desert, and Pain is gonna be the guardian for Lara Larry. I haven't quite decided yet which city we're going for, but I think first we're gonna be aiming for Stoat. I also had Ron constantly check the Great Library for the stuff that I want, mostly black and chainmail. Still haven't found any, but I did find some interesting blueprints for something like samurai armor super heavy or blood mask. So we're gonna have Joe craft us some of that stuff. It took the boys the whole night and until the next morning to make it all the way to Stoat. And while these guys are selling some of the like bigger houses, I don't think I want a bigger house. I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one seems like perfect size and it's 12,800. Let's go. And there it is, Larry's official weapon shop. Look at that. Look at the weapons he's selling over here. But well, really, we have the bigger weapons selling over here in this shop counter, and then in this shop counter we got the smaller weapons. Everything is edge type 1 or maybe 2, and if anybody wants to come in here and buy some good weapons, well, you're free to do so. Pain, of course, is gonna be his guard, and then there we have storage for various weapons over here, and then if you go in the back here, which visitors are not allowed, is where Larry can craft more weapons if he wants to. Some extra storage there, and then upstairs is their private area. As you can see, Morladin is using their table. They also have these beds over here, and then some personal storage for various stuff as well. But in any case, we got our final shop set up, and let's be real, I could not be happier. Morladin, let's get Steve back home, and you guys, I wish you all the best, and I hope you sell some of these really good and very expensive weapons that probably nobody has the money to buy. Well, it looks like my guards are busy once again. More starving bandits, as is tradition. But in any case, the boss is back home. Morladin has arrived after delivering all the shopkeepers across the world. And I gotta say, I'm really happy how this all turned out. I also spent some time beautifying our village, city, capital, whatever you want to call it. There's a couple of new tents around. There's a couple of new trees around. There's a couple of new decoration on the roof. So just to make these more livable, let's just say. You can see we have a couple of trees over here, another tent. I've placed down some apple trees. These would actually produce apples if you water them, but well, we're not gonna do that. We have one over here. There's some banana trees in the back. I added more banana trees over here to the hive part, and more regular trees there. I added a couple more buildings, as you can see, just so to make this place look more lived in, look more like a proper capital, you know, have a home for everybody that actually is here and lives here. Up on top of our gym, we actually have like a sparring circle where people can come and spar and fight. Then there's some places where people can sit and look and watch. And in general, yeah, I am very happy how this city turned out and how this empire turned out and how all the people that live here have turned out. I mean, just look at that. Look at how many shopkeepers we have out there. Even though not all of them are very successful, like Ela and Craxus aren't really selling anything because there doesn't seem to be any people around anymore in Shark, and those there are still fighting. I think at least Tiana and Quick are doing okay at the hub because there's people coming in. As you can see, this Holy Nation Outlaw is gonna go shopping. Probably doesn't have money to buy anything. These guys, yeah, I thought so. Then we have our drug traders down in Flats Lagoon. I don't think these guys are doing that well because, well, I guess this corner store isn't visited as much as it would be if it wasn't a corner store. Beep and Meep's got a bunch of people who cannot afford their prices. Left Eye and Topper, I think they mostly just have people come and stay in their house, like in their camp beds and such, you know, more of a hotel rather than a shop. And then Maccabi Scregan and John Kenshi, they got like holy priests going shopping. I don't know if those guys have any money or they just demand stuff from them, who knows. But they still got a bunch of food here to sell and some first aid kits as well. Snack and Vanguardium, probably their weapons are a bit too expensive for the shack here, but you know what? It's the effort that counts. At least we are showing these shack that we have big weapons to sell, and they'll respect that. Then of course we have Cersei and Spurious Machine and down at Catan. These guys are selling armor. I don't know if anybody's buying armor. We still have a bunch of the stuff that she's crafted over here. But at least, you know, Cersei got herself a shop that she wanted. And I'm sure that eventually she's gonna turn this profitable. I don't think Grogmaster and Ron sold any of these arms, but that might be just because there's competition. There's another like robotics workshop over here from the Skeletons. So maybe we should go and take those guys out, and then yeah, we'll have more traffic here at our shop. And of course, last but not least, the boys we just looked at, Lara, Larry, and Payne. Well, they just started this shop, so nobody have come to buy their expensive weapons, but I'm sure they will. In any case, we have shops all across the world, all across Kenshi. And I'm just so proud of what we could accomplish together. And Morladin is proud of you guys. Thank you for being here. The Grand Trade Empire has spread its wings over the entire continent of Kenshi, and it let fly. Shops were busy and bustling in every major city. The trade routes were kept safe by the military might of the empire. Fair and competitive prices were enforced by Morladin himself, who ruled over the capital of Lapsus Lazuli not with an iron fist, but with a velvet glove. No empire has prospered like his in more than 1,000 years. No empire could claim such peaceful ways as the Grand Trade Empire. They were friends of all, enemies of none. The world conquest has been completed without costing a single honest civilian life. That is all we could ask for.